Snowsalutations, everybody. Sorry it took me some time to come. I did not mute myself again. I was just lighting up candles. Yep. There I am. I was lighting up some candles because today is not only Christmas Day, it's also the first day of Hanukkah. So for every Gentile, the holidays are over, but for me, it's just beginning. But still, oh my God, you need to stop. It's time to stop, chat, please. I'm begging you. Happy Hanukkah, happy Merry Christmas. I hope the holidays have been kind to you. No, it's fine. No need to apologize, Gamer Core. For now, at least. Yeah. Anyways. So, happy holidays for everyone. And before we actually get into the Ace Attorney I'm gonna tell you what I did today because holidays and all that. I mean, aside from like celebrating in the cabin, I also went with my relative to buy new shoes because my current snow boots are just absolutely worn out. So I just went and bought new ones, and it was really fun. No, it wasn't fun. Shopping is not fun. It's like if I'm doing shopping on my own, it's okay. It can be fun, alright, Fetty. Steam put a hold on my account since I was buying my friends too many Steam games and wine time. Oh wow, that's very generous of you. You know that. Very generous. But it's also what happens. But it's also the season of giving gifts. The reason I was late is because I was lighting candles, at my Hanukkah. We ate some sufganiyas, which are basically jelly donut. They're jelly-filled donuts. They can also be filled with dulce de leche. I don't remember like what's the name of like the thing. So it's like it could be like with dulce de leche. It can be filled with chocolate. So tofu? It's not tofu. It's like more of a sweet thing. It's a jelly-filled donut. It's very yummy. I don't think there are like any like tofu stuff, you know. And people have made a lot of weird abominations. Hannes Hill didn't get the Pokemon joke. I did not get the Pokemon joke, unfortunately. Anyways. Yeah, no. So I woke up rather late because I had a lot of cramps from Pilates from like yesterday. I did training and it absolutely devastated my muscles. So I was like, okay, leggy hurty. This means I am going to be, working. I'm gonna be lying down most of the day. And I also played some video games. And yeah, also shopping. I'm also going to have the side tangent is that there is a chain of bakeries. It's called Roladin, and I'm calling them out because they have completely mutated the sufganiya into something unrecognizable. Because, like, your classic sufganiya, it has, they did an Ace Attorney and had rocks, rice, and tofu balls. Oh, yeah, no. I did not make that connection, but I do know that joke. It was less me not knowing the lore and more I didn't notice at the moment. Eat your hamburgers, Apollo. That's one of my favorite sayings. So your traditional sufganiya looks like this. Oh my god, no, I need to mute. I need to mute my app. You basically have, I'm gonna message you, to mute your stream. Yeah, I need to do that, but listen, I was, this time I had the excuse of, I should definitely mute my messaging apps. I keep doing that mistake, but alas. This stream was much more spontaneous because in the beginning of the week I was like, okay, I'm gonna stream on Wednesday, and then I got notifications that a relative of mine wants me to wants to wants to celebrate the holidays and like bring us over and we eat dinner and light candles and all that fun and all the usual stuff. Like basically celebrate the first day of the holiday. I need to like before this is, and then unfortunately she wasn't feeling very good, so I just celebrated it in a place closer to home, and yeah. So it sucks because I really wanted, because I never object to like celebrating the holidays with relatives and such, but sometimes it do be like that. Where did I save the... Where is the image? Yeah. So it sucks because because aside from the fact that like the holidays usually are a good time to have with your loved ones, she also wanted us to like make homemade suganias. So basically like make the chunks of dough, deep fry them in oil, fill them in, you know, all that, like all that. Yeah. And one of my favorite, and like I also made homemade suganias last year and it was a treat. Anyways. So, back to my usual discourse. This is what a sufgania looks like. This is what your average, your normal sufgania looks like. It's a variant of a donut. It's a ball of dough. It's filled with jelly and is coated with powdered sugar. And sometimes people like make it different. Like sometimes they covered it in chocolate and filled it in with chocolate, which is, I remember like when I was young. Yeah, it's delicious. It's very fatty, but it's delicious. Highly recommended. Especially good homemade. Mizrahi Jews, or like, I think like Jews from like the middle, like from more the Middle East, they have sphinges, which are also very yummy. Back to the subject. I'm gonna continue my... I'm gonna continue the Discord. I'm gonna continue my conversation. Laughs and high metabolism. Lucky. Cries and chronically underweight. Unlucky. That's unfortunate. So your sufganias can be like in different shapes. Like you can have it dipped in chocolate. You can also go a little fancier. Some people put in pistachios. Like having the chocolate and the sprinkles usually tends to be like stuff that like is very little kid friendly. And then there's this baking chain, patisserie chain, I think, and they are, and what they've done with the sufganias for like quite a few years is absolutely corrupt them. I'm gonna send you images of what it looks like. This is a very specific nitpick. I think that like diaspora Jews don't have to deal with this problem because they don't have Roladin, but we do. And usually what happens is that like donut, like every day, like around November, not even December, that's like, it's kind of like Christmas where like they get out the things early. And they just like make the donuts into monstrous abominations. Look at the middle ones. There's tiny donuts? I think there's like tiny donuts on top of like the normal donuts or cookies. It's like there's already enough sugar in this. Why are you ruining it? Why are you ruining a perfectly good pastry? And there's also... I'm also looking for others. It's like... It's just really bad. The pink one is a monstrosity. It is. Like... Which one? There's a couple of pink ones. The green too. The green one is an absolute abomination. And like, here's another one. I'm gonna show you this. They put... This is cereal. They put cereal on my sufganiya. They put cornflakes. Yeah, the middle of pink one, yeah. So yeah, this is just a thing. This is just like one of the weird phenomenons that I know of. That like happen every Hanukkah. We gotta clip food rent. Yeah, I'm gonna clip food rent, absolutely. And like with like with American Jews, it's like one of the big cultural disconnects is that like I remember I was scrolling through Tumblr a couple of years ago and I saw like a bunch of Jewish people are like, oh, we're gonna start the discourse of like we're gonna about like what do you dip your latkes with. Latkes are latkes or levivot. That's how it's called in Hebrew. It's basically like it's hash brown adjacent. It's a patty made of it's a patty made of like potato. It's not the same. It's like it's similar to hash browns, but not exactly. It's like instead of like but it's a similar idea. And in the place where I'm from in Israel, what they do is that like we just eat it with salt and just like eat it as that. And then like in America, patty hash brown, not like actual hash brown. Yeah, exactly. So they did like they dip it in ranch, they dip it in ketchup, they dip it in cream cheese. That's not how like anyone can eat whatever they want, however they want, but this is not how we do it here. It's such an American thing. Hash brown is shredded. Yeah, no, it's basically like it's the same idea, just different name and like maybe slightly different cooking. Like hash browns are sometimes made with like duck fat. Not all of them, but like yeah, very very similar ideas. So yeah, one of the big differences between like American Jews and like Israeli Jews is that one dips the latkes with in condiments, and the other one has a chain that has been mutating and killing Sugania systemically. Yeah, rant over. So yeah, I am a big fan of like getting a Sugania. It's like one of the nice delights. In Purim you have Haman ears, which are not as tasty, but like still pretty good. Once Purim shows up, which is like around March, I'll probably have my rent prepared for that. But yeah, good. I'm a big fan of like the holidays. It's nice to have the food. It's nice to have the generally cozy atmosphere. It's simultaneously nice and not nice to have you and your relatives sing off key to traditional holiday songs. Food rant over. Continue to talk about food. Yes. It's never truly over. Don't take my words for granted. Yeah. I don't really have much, like... I mean, now it's more of a Hanukkah, conversation. And, like, here's the thing. I usually don't have, I usually don't eat the, yeah, no, food rant continues. I usually don't eat, like, the fancy, donuts from Roladin, like the Sufganiyas. They're just too much. They tend to be too much, at least. In terms of everything. Okay. Yeah, one of the things I'm currently doing now before I'm gonna start the stream is, I didn't get a chance to, like, post and retweet that I'm streaming, so I'm doing it now. This is all very, like, this entire stream is half spontaneous because, well, I didn't know if I was gonna stream. Like, yesterday I wrote that, like, I won't have time. Holidays tend to be a pretty chaotic, period. I'm sure you guys know. Because everyone has plans, and sometimes you have last minute plans, and sometimes the plans shuffle around. And Hanukkah is the holiday, or like, Hanukkah and Passover. But like with Hanukkah, it's a little more because it's 8 days. And with Passover, it's like the big one is just for like for Passover Eve, where like everyone sits around and like does the thing. Also Rosh Hashanah, and like, oh, it's this one holiday, and no, also this other holiday requires like a lot of organizing, and also Shavuot, and also Sukkot. A lot of like Jewish holidays are about let's get the family together and sit around in a table and eat food. With Shavuot, it's specifically dairy, and like dairy and fish. And with Sukkot, it's around like a weird hut thing. Hell, yeah, it can be hell, depending. Okay. I don't eat fish. I don't like dairy. Sorry. Oh, that's super fair. My dad also is not someone who enjoys dairy. It's interesting because like some people, like I'm very much a dairy enjoyer. So like it's interesting when I see like people, oh, I just don't eat dairy. And then, like, when the family's around and we're having, like, a raclette or, like, a fondue, like, he just ends up, like, they still end up, like, cooking meat specifically for him. So he'll have something to eat if he's joining. I mean, in the tundra, because of, like, the food resources, like, I tend to, like, fish, like, to have my, to, like, fish my own food. Sometimes, like, I hunt, or, like, no, I don't really hunt. I mostly just, like, order. And make sure it's as environmentally friendly as possible. That's where the Snow Hermit lore is coming in. Am I right? Wow, I am... Okay, one more, link. Also just kind of like yapping to you about like some things that I have around while I do like while I prepare for like the big gaming, you know. My favorite thing to do is sometimes play like other games that I play. For example, I've been playing Zenless Zone Zero. Like, things have finally happened in the game, and I am now watching them, and I am really enjoying it because Zenless Zone Zero finally had a game where like they decided to do crossover interaction between the different factions. I already spoke about it. And the newest side story about Asaba Harumasa, which is one of the characters, was phenomenal. Just, it went ridiculously dark in a way that felt, that mostly worked. The villain kind of felt a little cartoonishly evil by the end of it, but it still worked on me, and it was still very sweet about, like, finding meaning of life, even though your life might be tragically cut short. Really interesting character. It's a shame that, like, because Hoyoverse is currently like switching between voice acting studios because of complications. Xenoblade 3, yeah. In Haramas's case, it's because he has a special illness. That means he's basically more susceptible to like the ether poisoning, and then like one day he might become corrupted like into a monster. So for him, it's just a matter of like accepting the fact that one day he's gonna because of his job, he might be transformed into a monster. There's other stuff in there, and then he's like, "Hey, protagonist. If I become a monster, can you kill me? Like, can you defeat me? I don't want to roam in the, I don't want to roam in there forever." I like how you're making the Xenoblade associations. And yeah, it sucks that I don't know who's voicing him. Like, I looked up in behind the voice actors, and it's because, MiHoYo is like, Hoyoverse, like, there's been some complications with the studio that has been voicing them. Like, I think the voice actors are striking against the studio. I just hope it won't resort to, like, having AI voiceovers. I highly doubt it. I mean, I want it to not happen because AI voiceover is just garbage and a bad idea, and it's sucking the soul out of the talent. And I'm saying that as someone who really appreciates the art of voice acting. And like specifically Haramas's voice actor, whoever he may be. He was incredible in the role. He brings a lot of versatility to this character. And yeah, it's like, it also, like, the complications with, like, the voice actors. I can't wait till March, though. That wind does blow hard. I see. Anyways, another thing, Xenoblade, I see. That's interesting. Is March when the Xenoblade X port is coming out? Or remaster? Ooh, I'm interested. Xenoblade, I really enjoyed Xenoblade 1. I still need to play 2 and 3, and X looks really interesting because eventually you also have your robots. You have your big mechs. X uses the one engine. Ooh, fun. Fun. What else? Wow, my brain is, I think we can start, like, the game. Oh, another thing is, like, it also comes to the fact not only that, like, some voice actors just got switched around because of studio complications. It's also because, probably some production delays. One of the characters, Lycon, just did not have his voice lines recorded, so, like, when the cutscenes come out in, like, the new event, you just hear absolutely jack shit. Like, he speaks, but there's no voice, and it's only, like, an issue with the English dub. I'm guessing, and, like, also Kaleda, another character. This is not something new. I remember playing, is there text? Yeah, no, there is subtitles. It's, again, like, sometimes if an actor can't meet the deadline, they'll probably have to, like, re-record it later. So I hope that, like, maybe, like, in a patch or later on, they add his recording. They will. I remember, like, when I played Tears of Themis, a few years ago. It's not even back in the day, it was, like, 2 years ago. One of the voice actors in the Japanese dub just was not able to, like, make it to the lines in time because of COVID. So, like, whenever he spoke, there was just silence. But, like, Fire Emblem Heroes has a similar issue with its English right now. Most units don't have lines. Yeah, exactly. It's the same, it's because of logistical issues. Anyways. That's been a lot of yapping, but we are here to continue Ace Attorney investigations right before I head to vacation. I mean, I am heading to vacation on Saturday, but, like, on Thursday I have plans, and on Fridays, like, the day beforehand, and there was probably gonna be some last-minute preparations, even though this year we did a lot of the preparations, like, a week before. which is the smart choice of doing it, but yeah. Okay, I opened the game. I'm gonna close the engine. I mean, the Streamlabs music. Oh, another thing I want to share is that, like, I did another game on Slay Aspire today. A daily run, and I won. Hello, welcome to the stream. You just came in, or right? We were just about to start. Good seeing you, Hi Papaya. It's been a while. Happy holidays. And I'm going to share Ace Attorney Investigations because I did not do that yet. Yeah. Slay Aspire is a fun game. Even if I'm not because even if I'm losing, I still have fun, and when I'm winning, it's even better because, well, I win. I am the winner. There we go. So, Ace Attorney Investigations, hooray! We are doing it. And we are still in prison, and Edgeworth needs you to bail him out. Not really. So, last time we continued investigating and realized that there's a lot more to investigate. A serial killer at Edgeworth arrested in the past. The very big circus is back somehow. So I have to ask Mondays or Metaphor? Yeah. Metaphor Mondays. We are doing Metaphor Mondays. Variety Hour Wednesdays and Ace Attorney Saturdays, or unless said otherwise. And Metaphor Mondays are probably gonna go on for a long time because it's an Atlas game, and most of my streams tend to be 3 hours. But with Metaphor, I can also go for like 4 hours. Yay, Fairy Girlfriend returns, yes. And I will try my best not to be mean to her, because if I do, you will scold me. So yeah. Apparently, there's a lot of mysteries that have not yet been solved, and Eustace Winner has been a whiner. It's actually short compared to some like Persona 5. I see. Yeah, no, Persona 5 has been a monster. Okay, let's talk. With Frank saw it. Ah, Mr. Attorney, sir. And how are you today, if you don't mind me asking?
Today? We just talked to you earlier, Mr. Sawit.
Oh, heavens, I do apologize. What a nice guy. Yeah, he totally did not strike someone in the back of the head. He's totally fine. He did nothing wrong, Your Honor. Ever since I came to call this place home, I've been working on my interpersonal skills, you see? In order to be as annoying as possible. Yeah, this guy's kind of annoying. I'm currently helping out with the circus's show stage teardown and cleanup. But if you have need of me, I'll do my best to help. Oh, and we also discovered that Simeon Saint, the prime suspect, he is actually a trainee animal tamer in the Berrywood Circus. And he has been holding information from us. Because apparently he was scared. I'm just shipping and doing what I can, model prisoner that I am. Yes, my stay in this prison has seen me reborn. The Frank Sard you see before you is a changed man, because he demoted himself from murdering to stealing, from looting bodies, to be more accurate. A changed man. Now, who now targets the recently deceased? No, you misunderstand. It's just a moment of madness.
A moment of madness? Ugh, you're a disgrace to thieves everywhere.
How long to beat says it's about 103 hours to compare you. So you probably beat it in 69 hours depending on how much side content you do on your first playthrough, I see. It could, so in there it depends like on how good I am in the game. Because Signalis said 9 hours, but because because I don't have much of experience with survival horrors, it took me a long while. So we'll have to see. You're right, of course. I can't deny it. You can't aim. I cannot aim. Don't ask me to stream FPS games. You don't dance around it. I can't aim. I really can't. Don't give me a gun. As a thief.
Anyway, as you can see, I have a shiny new bracelet now. So it's a straight and narrow for me. Like I say, I'm a model prisoner.
Not that a real model prisoner would need to keep telling me that. Why is it not dead? Hail ever shooting the bulletproof shield 5 times. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's that hard to be as better in this game than me. It's not. The vocational training.
I'm doing everything I can to prepare for my eventual return to society. Yeah, you even skipped the show to focus on your training, didn't you?
Oh, she spoke of it more casually. I just thought it like she was still being judgmental.
That's right. Only 2 inmates were absent. So it in Canis.
Sorry, I'll try to bully you less. It's the holidays. Tis the season for... This is not the season for treason, for peace, for bullying.
Why didn't you tell us about Mr. Kinesis sooner? Oh, that! Look, I don't think there's an inmate in this prison who'd talk about him if they didn't have to.
Keyword try, make no promises. I mean, it makes for good content.
Well, you could say that he's the real one in charge around here. You didn't hear from me, but, well, I guess it comes with being the fixer.
I'm an asshole. You do the best to also remember that. It's fine.
The fixer? Yes. Anything you need, he can get it for you. But how does he get away with it? I'm not sure, but he's the only one who does. I heard he has a secret way of getting things to the facility. I imagine being the fixer of Fort Canis is some privileges. Not that I concern myself with such things anymore, of course. I'm far more interested in perfecting my mud pack application technique. And what are these mud packs exactly? They're a special type of mud treatment, rich with minerals. It works wonders on their coats. I've been practicing on the animals here in the prison. I hope to treat them all eventually. Speaking of mud, that reminds me of a certain piece of evidence. Maybe I should try presenting it to him.
What had mud again? Pretty sure there was mud on the coat, wasn't there? I'm afraid I wouldn't know anything about that. As I said, I have nothing to do with the incident. I don't think that's quite true, is it? Oh, but it is! What you see is what you get with me. No bluster, no lies, no false pretenses than what was like your last 2 appearances, Mr. Solid. I'm a model prisoner. Your false pretenses that Frog on his head would say otherwise. But maybe I'd better keep that to myself. Body covered in dirt. Exactamundo. No? I need to present him something. Something with mud. Oh, this. That's the rubber glove I dropped. Would you care to explain why it's so dirty? Oh, of course, that's mud from one of the pet treatments I've been practicing. I was giving one of the animals a mud pack right when the incident happened. I see. And what time would this have been? Let's see. The show had already started, so around 9 a.m. perhaps? The thing is, the more mud I applied, the more zone I got, and the darker the animal's fur became. There's no trend. Trends quite like that trends one enters when one slathers an animal with thick black mud. Whoa, okay. Listen, I played this game, so it's not that big of a relation to me, but I think I understand what happened. I mean, I doubted from that the security camera footage actually showed us, the dog. Helmut, was it? It didn't show us Helmut, it actually showed us Teddy. Not the bear from, this game, not from Persona 4. I think the stress of prison might have been getting to him. Not the character voiced by Sam Riegel. That makes... So, that's what happened. Okay. Monokuma. Hold on. I wanna check. Who voiced? No, it wasn't... I was like, Edgeworth's boyfriend is voiced by Sam Riegel. Yeah, this I know. Absolutely.
Of course, it's all thanks to the warden would he have access to such wonderful distractions. I'm eternally grateful, truly I am.
Anything else? I don't know. Let's keep investigating. This must be the stage for the show.
Do you think people will be interested in a great thieving show?
I mean, Paleno was interested in thieving shows. I'm sure the police would be eager to attend. What's this? A simple, sturdy, built well. I wonder if it was the work of the prisoners.
Somebody's left a bunch of tools lying around. There's a long piece of rope and a pretty heavy-looking weight. Let's see, it weighs 30 pounds. Oh, and there's some pulleys too.
Okay, can you stop pushing everything in sight?
Oh, come on, it's not like I was gonna take anything.
What exactly would they be used for, I wonder? Maybe Regina knows of something about it? Maybe Raymond knows something? Let's talk to Raymond. You know, I actually realized that, Raymond seems like a relatively easy character to cosplay. Your fingerprints are on the evidence now. Congratulations, Kate. It's like, if I go to a con, like, I can try to, like, I think I can thrift a lot of the things he has, like white pants. I might actually have white, okay, I have white pants, but it's mostly the blouse, the tie, and the fedora. And, like, I can do, like, a gender-bent version of Raymond. Maybe even the shoes, if I want to go extra accurate. What's up? Let's talk to Raymond. Who doesn't love a good circus performance, eh? A foray into the realm of fantasy. Well, the Ace Attorney fandom has quite a bit of trauma from circus cases. If the performance is a good one, it can certainly be entertaining, yes. Man, I'm getting pumped just thinking about it. Wait, no. Why gender? I don't feel like wearing a wig. Mostly that. I mean, I don't mind, like, doing it. It's mostly because I don't feel like wearing a wig. I've worn wigs and cosplays in the past, so it can be like, I see. Yeah. Like, I did some cosplays back in high school, and in both of them, like, in one of them I wore a wig, and the other I didn't, and I think half of it is just because I didn't have a cap. It was very amateurish, nothing, like, fancy. Maybe I will. I need, like, there's gonna be a con in March. I'm trying to think about, like, whether I want to cosplay or not. Man, I'm just getting pumped just thinking about it. Yeah, I just want to give it more emphasis in the tone. A chance to escape reality, however brief, can often be a powerful tonic. Cosplay is hell. Yeah, you know, yeah, of course I'm gonna cosplay as myself. I think that actually making the hat, I think that I might just make the hat for myself in the con and wear it around. And maybe also look for a wig. That could also be a good one. Doesn't it make you want to hug something? Like the circus? He has a lot of feelings, this guy. Holding a show here, right in the shadow of the fence that keeps these guys in. Well, I need to get into my Raymond voice. I'm not really getting into it now. Okay. Now I feel like I got into my, now I feel like I got into, Texan accent and less like the Bayou, like, now I feel like I'm voicing Ford from Critical Role. I mean, my voice is not as deep, but, yeah, I'll get into it, I promise. Holding a show here, right in the shadow of the fence that keeps these guys in. Yes, the magic of the big top is enough to make them forget they're in the same boat as the animals. The fence. I suppose I should examine it too. It is part of this facility after all. Oh, good on Raymond for pointing it out. Ah, she's calling him Raymond instead of Eddie Fender. Let's go. Oh no, I forgot I was playing the official translation. No! Yeah, wow. I completely forgot it's, Eddie. Well, we missed the show, but we've got the stage and all the other stuff to check out. He's right. I should look over the show set and equipment just in case something useful turns out. Chat over, huh? You don't exactly look like a guy with a You don't exactly look like a guy with a lot of work to with. Miles, stop. Miles? Well, he got upset. Kid's really something, huh? Wish I'd still had a tenth of her starry-eyed art look. Aw. Poor Raymond. I mean, Eddie. Poor Edmund. Okay, I'm back. I suppose that's because her head seems to be up in the clouds. Edmund Fender Shields. Yeah, we're calling him Edmund Fender Shields. What? So, she's so above it all that no one dares to go against her. That she doesn't even need to crack the whip with the animals. Yeah, just go from star to stealing. And suddenly, it's sit. Stay. Man, listen. I'm not kink shaming. But this is the second time I've had the kink association with this guy, I swear to God. I can think of somebody who very much enjoys cracking the whip. You Bastion the winner. You Sebastian the winner. Very no. Justerity. Gavelny. Justerity, Gavelny. Wow, Justine Court, like, with, it's much harder to do it with Verity Gavel. You can, huh? Sounds like a real piece of work. Come on, Miles Reno, spill the beans. Spill the beans. Trust me, Thunder, one crack of her whip and you'll be running for the courthouse doors. Maybe he's into it, I don't know. We don't kink shame here. Danger, high voltage. I never saw one of these in real life. Hey, that must be the fabulous garden outside the warden's office over there. Ah, yes, when Warden God mentioned being able to see it under her window on the detention center side. Wish this dumb-barred metal fence wasn't in the way, though. I thought it was all one big yard. Given how protective the warden seems to bear a little bit of earth, I imagine it's to keep the riffraff like us out. There you are. Oh, it's her. It's Fifi Lagarde. Regina Cupcake. Oh, Warden Lagarde. I've been simply dying. Oh, that's Lagarde. I've been simply dying to sit you down for a chat. You exquisite little thing. Listen, I know some lore about Fifi. Played the game, but I would not trust her to be near her. How old is Regina in this game? Very teen Quartel. Yeah, that sounds good. Regina is 17. I would, Regina, if I wouldn't be with you, I would keep FBI on close-up. This will not mean anything to you guys, who haven't, to people who haven't played this game before, but I know. I know, Fifi. You can't hide anything from me. Because I played the game already. Do you mind if I ask a little about the prison?
Oh, not at all. This place is my pride and joy. My home. Sure, it was a prison when I first arrived. And it was awful and utter disgrace.
Awful. I suppose you mean the prisoners were unruly.
I most certainly do not. The Rangers, every one of them. And they always have been. No, it was the ambience that was awful. I fretted, I brooded, and then it hit me. The animals. If anyone could brighten up the place, it was them. It is nice having them around. Isn't it just? And now look at my fabulous little family. Why, my darling Frankie is the very picture of rehabilitation.
Maybe enough about the non-recurring characters. Yeah. I guess we'll rediscover it again. Except when he's rifling through dead men's pockets.
I have so many success stories among the family, but darling Frankie really is a marvel. He's thrown himself into the
I mean, to do the fusion memes. Her name is Patricia Rowland in the original, in like the fan translation. So it's Pat Fifi Rolgard or Patrifi Rolgard.
What? And your other model prisoners don't do that? Oh, of course they do, my dear, of course. They're all such tryers, such doers. It's just that Frankie, let's just say he knows what's good for him.
What exactly does she mean by that? Gotta roll that R. Patricia Rowland. Yeah. It's like, I remember that when I first played the fan translation, I gave her more of a Russian accent, but in here they made her French.
Anyway, he's a very good boy. So do try to be nice to him, won't you?
The very big circus.
Loud story music. Great leaping animals. The very big circus truly has it all. And everybody who comes here gets to see it once a month. Really?
Mixed French-Russian descent. Yeah.
In that case, let me see.
European descent. She better not be thinking of something to confess to. This monthly show, is it always performed by the very big circus?
But of course, sweetie. I'm Regina's biggest fan. That girl's been my little princess, my superstar. She's so wonderfully talented. Oh yes, yes she is. Oh yes she is.
Oh, I don't like this.
And she's so adorable, so sweet. I could just gobble her right up.
Anyone who speaks to Regina in this tone, like in the series history, has a big rolling red flag around them. I'm sorry.
You're not lying when you say you're her biggest fan, huh? Which is why I'm worried about her. So worried. It's all because of poor Simeon, you see. If he is found guilty, why? Darling, Regina will be devastated. So you simply must make sure it doesn't happen. Mr. Lawyer, please, I'm begging you.
Man.
If there's anything I can do to help you clear up this awful misunderstanding, but you let me know. Regina, darling, you put on the most splendid show for us yet again.
I'm okay? Yeah, no. I just, my throat's a little dry is all.
The stage, the stars, and you in particular, my princess. Oh, it was simply divine. That's so nice of you. I hope everybody else who watched enjoyed it too. About that deal. I'm afraid I have something awful to confess. There were absentees, you see.
She must mean K. Neeson saw it. I mean, Canis was always gonna be absent because he's in solitary confinement.
We were 3 members short. Unbelievable, I know. How will you ever forgive me?
I'm sorry, but you're saying 3 inmates didn't attend the show.
That's right, sweetie. I counted the seats myself. 1, 2, 3 no-shows. And I always make sure there are enough seats for everybody. But Mr. Edgeworth, that's not right, is it?
Indeed, as far as we were aware, Mr. Canis and Mr. Salt were the only ones who were not present. That doesn't add up. Who is the 3rd missing prisoner and what were they doing? It seems we need to investigate further.
Oh, I was enjoying my chat with dear Regina so much I almost forgot. I must feed the little one.
Little one?
Yikes!
Oh, it's an alligator. Bronco Knight? Maybe.
Alligator!
I mean, she does look kind of cute.
You're looking as adorable as always, Ali, my sweet. Ah, she's so pretty! And what a cute name! Yes, Ali the alligator. Isn't she a darling? She's my favorite, aren't you? Yes, you are. I'm so jealous. Can I pet her? Of course, princess, of course.
Boy, howdy. These two are made for one another. They look like they'll be busy for a while.
Maybe we should get back inside the prison and check the cells.
Yes, let's. Perhaps we can find a clue there as to who our 3rd missing prisoner might be. Sir, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Whoa, I finally caught up with you. And Gumshoe's back. Detective, you're not seen it elsewhere? You know, one of the things I really like about Ace Attorney Investigations, this game specifically, is that it feels like Edgeworth really has his own team. His own super team, in a sense. Detective, you're not needed elsewhere? No, the judge and the kid aren't here yet. Oh, I got your message. So you searched the victim's cell. Did you manage to turn anything up? We struck gold, sir. Well, blood, anyway. It was right there on the floor. Yeah, it's great. Only tiny specks, though. But at least it's something. And technically, the Great Ace Attorney also had that. They're all like I really do like the investigating team, like the super investigation team.
Yeah, it proves that the holding cell was the scene of the crime, right?
Not quite. It proves a possibility, but it's not conclusive yet. I thought you'd say that, sir. Which is why I ordered some follow-up work. I asked for forensics to analyze the blood to see if it matches the victims. They're on it as we speak. Sadly, Emma doesn't really return. Yeah, she doesn't.
Nice work, Gummy. You thought of everything.
Detective, I must say, I'm impressed. Did you hit your head or something? No, the writers just remember to write incompetently between this game and the other. Like, one of the things I really appreciate about this game is that, it really learned from the mistakes of, the first game, of the first Investigations game, because in the first one, Gumshoe was just uncharacteristically dumb. Like I mentioned it, like in here is actually they found a way to make him work better. And I actually think it's good at I think the game also does a good job so far of balancing the allies Edgeworth has, because it's really hard to have I mean, in the big confrontations, everyone's around and they're helping and giving their punches. But in in this case right now, well, it'll be more fitting if Gumshoe's out and a little more on the side, and it's okay. He's a supporting character, not a deuteragonist. You don't look so surprised, sir. Let's just hope things continue to go in our favor. Alrighty, so that's proof the murder happened in a detention center. And for our next trick... Okay, Edgeworth.
We'll find how that dog got over here.
It also helps that in this game, Kay is in all the cases, so like you have your assistant character and she stays on the Don't worry, you can leave that one to me. Until the kid and his chaperone get here, we've got the whole prison to ourselves. Which is why I brought my secret weapons along. Yeah, they're the main duo and their relationship is super important, as so Gumshoe can take a back seat. Yeah, it's true. I do agree with that. And I think it's also nice because, like, Gumshoe and Edgeworth, like, their dynamic is alright. Their dynamic works, but, like, there isn't much to, like, delve into that hasn't been delved into in the trilogy.
See? Secret weapons.
That's right. A few tools of the trade I have helped me bust more than a few cases wide open. Behold, the 7 secret weapons of Dick Gumshoe, Ace Detective and Scornair. Oh my god.
Ace Detective? More like Ace Defective.
Also, you did, this case, you did introduce both Verity and, Courtney and the Best. Verity and Eustace. Well, I don't know about you crazy cats, but I'm sold. Miles? Crazy cats, wow, this guy is very, I like, I always liked how well, Ace Attorney establishes character voices. It's extremely hard to get right. Very well, Detective. We'll try using your secret weapons. You got it, sir. Let me run you through the list. Secret number one. Stupid blank, fill blank. My trusty old metal detector. It's made of steel, silver, or scrap. This little guy right here will find it. So it's a text metal. Very good, Detective. Next up, secret orb number 2. Missile. Everyone's favorite crime-fighting canine. And it's the second, it's the first time, Shu Takumi inserted his dog into a campaign, like into a game he was working on. The third time was, the second time was Missile and Ghost Drake, and it was much more obvious because it was also a Pomeranian. The Yukari meme that replaces it is defective, yeah. I didn't want to be that crass, it's fine. Listen, I have a feeling you got bleeped. Because I see asterisks. So I have no idea what's in there, unless you put it on purpose. No, I did not. Okay, that's fine. You can track pretty much any scent you put in front of him, especially food.
He sure is a lot cuter than Miss Canissa's dog.
Yeah, he is, and he's a very good boy. Now for secret weapon number 3. I didn't want to say the slurs that Yukari said. Ah, yes, Yukari and her slurs. I kind of like the joke in Persona 3 that like the PlayStation Yukari is a slur user. Am I one snapper short of school, or is that a fishing rod? Don't tell me we're going fishing for clues. No, I mean, I just happened to have it with me, so wow, homeboy carried a fresh fishing rod with him. She has homophobia, yes. Someone please do an edit of Yukari as the homophobic dog, please. I see. Well, onwards and upwards, Detective. Let's see what else you have. That's all she wrote, sir.
Gummy, your 4 secret opens short of your so-called 7, and one of them was his fishing rod.
Oh, of course someone already did that. Amazing. Sorry, but that's all for today, okay? I'll show you the next the rest next time. Listen, he has a dog. He He brought with him a dog, a fishing rod, and a metal detector. You can at least be kind of grateful. Why do you think it's called a secret? Guy can't just go sharing everything at once. That's crazy. In that case, then I suppose you three have the danger revealed to us. We'll have to do for now. Alright, which one do you want to try, sir? I want to try the fishing rod first. Let's give the fishing rod a try. You got it, sir. There's a pond in the prison yard. We may find something helpful lurking in the depths. Well, textures might be traumatic to already. Yeah, kind of. Yes, sir. Leave it to me. Ah! What's the matter, detective? You're not gonna believe this, sir, but I had something big for... And then it took off with the bait and my fishing line. There's a real whopper lurking in those waters. Come to think of it, there is an alligator living in that pond. I probably shouldn't tell the detective that we nearly lost more than just a secret weapon. Looks like the fishing rod won't be much use, sir. Let's try something else. I want to try missile next. Which one do you want to try? Because I know the metal detector is the actual answer. You got it, sir. Hey, missile! Here, boy!
There he is! Aw, he really came!
Man, yeah. I love... What a good boy. So, what are we tracking? We're trying to find how Miss Canice's dog got to the holding cells in the first place. I suspect the same route we used to bring Knight's body back to the prison. So we gave the pooch a sniff of the body.
And he'll find that route for us.
Oh, so cute. Does anyone else smell something sweet? All I smell is the odor of blood. It's faint, sir, but it's there. Almost like cake, maybe. Why would their body smell of cake? Okay, miss, I'll get a noseful. Here we go. Follow that dog. That's the way to... Oh no, no, not there. He's headed for maximum security.
Uh-oh, he's going in.
Then we'll just have to follow after him. Tragic, your dog became a cop. Unfortunate, yes. It's also, like, in a vacuum, Missile is cute, but, like, a lot of police-trained dogs also go through a lot of abuse. This is Canice's cell. But the man himself is absent, it seems. Is he meeting with someone in the visitor's room?
You think Missile's onto something?
Shh! Looks like maybe he is. Oh no. Is he bjorking? Is there something here?
Let's get snooping, Mr. Edgeworth. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, the chisel on the floor is a bit smaller than the others.
No woodwalker, but perhaps it's an all-purpose one. Can be used in print. Where else of the job?
An all-purpose pocket chisel. Makes sense. Always nice to have your tools useful and easy to carry.
Is that your opinion as a thief?
Nope. It's my opinion as a great thief.
Edgeworth, you should have seen it coming. I walked into that one. He did! Is it the cookies? Tea and rice crackers. Miss Canice clearly doesn't lack for comforts.
I could think of worse ways to spend my time in jail than drinking tea and playing chess. I thought this was maximum security, not maximum comfort. How come nobody else gets the special treatment?
Complaining to me isn't going to help. Perhaps you could take it up with the man himself.
Yikes! No thanks!
Miss Canice's chess set, complete with a special dog piece.
That's not a chess set, that's a whole chess table with legs. Look at it, looks like it might be worth something too.
It definitely does, considering the fact it's handmade. It's not inconceivable, some of them are. And this is quite a nice one.
I never would have pegged Mr. Canice as a chess fan though. What with the whole Eastern aesthetic he's got going. I thought he was more into Go.
Go, huh? Can you play?
I can play Go Fish!
She's so funny. Not the same thing, Kay, not even close. Miss Canice's chisels. Everyone's a potential murder weapon.
That reminds me of something. The furs on your brow. When you frown, it looks like someone who took a chisel on your forehead.
I have no idea what you mean.
See? They're so deep. Don't tell me you don't see it, Mr. Wood Carving Face. Have you quite finished?
Huh? What's the matter, boy? Wait, is this cake you were after? And he's doing the Bjorking. Whoa, down, boy! Stop that! No, you can't have it! Dogs can't eat chocolate, you know that?
You really can. No.
If you won't behave, I'll just have to eat it myself. Not bad.
Oh my god, so this entire time... Jokes aside, it's really sad how Reload defend Yukari, make her more broadly appealing and thus in process to characterization.
Yeah, I mean, I still like Yukari, but like... I think half of it, like... The main thing that happened is with the fact that like the voice actress, the new voice actress is good, but like she doesn't have the same edge that Michelle Ruff has. So yeah, I'm still kind of upset by it. It's like Atlas are just really afraid of making women unlikable. We like it when women are messy, please. I mean, she still is messy, but like, it's not the same. Oh, and like in the, oh, I see. They also made her come up as less rude in the answer. I never played the answer, so I don't know what happened there. That's some real outside the chocolate box thinking there. Not sure everybody agrees, though.
Gummy! I wanted some!
Daring of both of you to assume the food in prison is safe to eat. Well, daring or dumb. So anyway, it looks like it really was Cake Missile was tracking. Talk about a waste of time. I suppose we got our just desserts. But the little guy is definitely capable, right? Oh, sure he is. It was just a blip. He'll follow the right scent this time, I promised. Seek, boy. Oh, I think he's onto something. Whatever it is, it's in there. Mr. Carserato said. We need to take a look inside. Detective, call the guard. Yes, sir. Thank you, officer. A question before I begin. Is this prisoner, Mr. Carserato, still in solitary? No, sir. He came back just a while ago. He was here for the noon roll call. Guess he must have been work duty someplace. I see. Now, if you'd be so kind as to open his cell. Yes, sir. Look, I like how he has a Fifi there. It's cute.
No way, he has a poster of himself! And right next to it looks like he never lost the habit of making way for a fight.
Once a boxer, always a boxer, I suppose. I see also has quite the collection of supplements.
Muscle protein, hustle protein. Soul-crushing protein. Yeah, that's a lot of protein.
Akihiko would like to get some of that. You know, one of the things that is interesting is that, like, in the original port of Persona 3, because localizing and voice acting was so expensive, or at least it was pricey, I don't know how expensive it was, they cut a lot of, like, the protein mentions that Akihiko had. And basically, in the Japanese localization, it was there. It was always there. And then, like, as the series happened, it got plandarized. But the protein stuff was also in the original game. And, like, in Reload, they had it, and, like, people were like, why is the protein there? It wasn't in the first game. And, like, no, it was there in the beginning. Also, I'm in the mind that I like both Akihiko versions. Like, it was really, really hard to follow up Liam O'Brien, and says the eternal Liam O'Brien stan. But Akihiko did a really good... But Alejandro Saab did a really good job with the character. During the grief scene with the funeral, I read actually the protein stuff was more common in Q games and Arena. Yeah, the spin-offs. That's fair. I think he did a really good job with Akihiko in making him his own character. Because if he was just trying to imitate O'Brien, it really wouldn't have come as bad. And like, as I was saying, in the Awakening scene, he actually channeled the grief he felt when his friend Billy Kametz passed away. I mean, I'm sorry to like lower the mood, but like, I am still really sad about Billy's passing. He was so good. He was so good. Friend. Hold on, what? I did Alejandro Saab and Billy Kametz had a relationship or something? Or are you like putting in quotations? Friend. It's like Billy Kametz is like Fernand's voice actor, and like and Alejandro Saab was also like they voiced together on Fire Emblem and like other projects. I'm guessing they were friends, and like he took it really hard. So in the grief scene when Akihiko was grieving and like had the crying, Alejandro was trying Saab was trying to like take friend referring to Aki and Shinji. Yeah. With Aki and Shinji, it's more of like a brotherly thing. Yeah. It's fine, it's fine. No need to apologize. Surely nobody trains like this for nothing. This punching bag has so many seems to use. Woof, 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 woof.
What breed were you again, Missile? Sure it wasn't a boxer? Go home, Kate.
No way. No way indeed. Quickly, detective, move the sandbag aside. Yes, sir. Oh, shit. A hole. Could this be... barking noises. Whoa there. Hey, wait, missile.
I'm going in too.
Wait, stop. Sir, I'll go get her. They all went through the hole. Ooh, that's tight. Shouldn't have eaten that cake. He's gone. Well, I'm not going in there. Guess we'll just have to wait. Awkward silence between them. Hello? Kay, are you alright?
You're not gonna believe this, but we're in the detention center.
The boys, yes. The detention center?
That hole. It's a tunnel that leads right into Mr. Knight's cell.
What? Don't go anywhere, I'm on my way. I do love Edgeworth's old-ass phone. I still see people, like, going with button phones around, like, specifically, religious people, like, some very religious Jews, tend to have, phones with buttons on them. Like, old phones.
Okay. Hey there, Mr. Edgeworth. Can you see... guess you could say we made a breakthrough.
Quite. At least they came out unscathed, I think. Sir, the floorboards on the bed were torn up! Oh, wow. Crazy. So that's how they did it. There's no doubt about it. This must be the road that we've been looking for. The corridor connecting the detention center and the prison is locked by heavy security doors. With the help of this tunnel, it could be circumvented. I think it's also a thing about the writers not wanting to have smartphones in plot. Yeah, that's fair. That scent was fact coming from Nightspot. Wait. But with the help of this tunnel, it can be circumvented. It was a sweet scent that started this whole search. Could it be that the scent was in fact coming from Knight's body after all? Incidentally, Knight's body was covered in dirt, though that might have come from being dragged through this tunnel.
Okay, what was it like down there?
Well, it was pitch black, so I couldn't see a whole lot. Luckily, my camera has a flash, so I took some pictures.
Then let's see what you've captured. Look at that! Spoons, a fork. Yes, these were for digging tunnel. This is not the first time in a shoe. I mean, this is not written by Shu Takumi, but like this is not the first time in a Shu Takumi adjacent game where they used like spoons and such to like dig tunnels. This was also a gimmick in Ghost Trick. But that aside, are those footprints? Paw prints even, from a dog perhaps. I mean, I can see they're misled, but yeah. This is a vital piece of evidence. However, it begs something of a question. It does? I mean, it's a common prison escape tool, fair. Mr. Casarato has definitely been making use of this tunnel, which means... Detective, we need to find out where Mr. Casarato is, immediately. If my suspicions are correct... Aw, nuts! The guards were alerted and they began searching for Mr. Casarato right away. But after a thorough investigation of both the prison and the detention center, he was nowhere to be found.
Well, have the police been notified?
Yes, ma'am. We just finished liaising with them a moment ago. Wow, I cannot aim and I cannot read. They've set up a cordon around the entire facility. Good.
The first blemish on the prison's spotless reputation is always the ugliest.
Liaison. Thank you. It won't happen again, ma'am. A rather different ward in the guard than the one we've seen so far.
Mr. Edgeworth, was it? I really can't thank you enough for finding the tunnel, darling. Sadly, it may have been too little too late. It seems he might already left the building.
I'd say that's unlikely, Wanda. After all, there's a security gate in the exit of the detention center. I'm not suggesting you simply walk through it. What's to say there was one tunnel, sweetie? I suppose that's true.
Well, whatever the case, this is no time to be standing around chit-chatting. Mr. Edgeworth, would you mind continuing with your investigation?
It would be my pleasure. And you three can get back to your posts. Yes, ma'am. You got the say part wrong. Detective, the results of the blood test just came back from the lab. Thanks, pal. Thanks, pal. Let's see what they have to tell us about the blood found in Mr. Knight's cell.
What does it say, Mr. Edgeworth?
They've identified the blood and it's Knight's. Ooh, interesting. Nice. Nice job, everybody. Teamwork makes the dream work, huh? We got Knight's blood in his holding cell, a tunnel, and a dog clearly went through. And security footage showing Knight being attacked by the dog in his cell. Case closed. We have all the evidence we need. Let's see what Mr. Kanice has to say for himself.
Kanice?
Oh, darlings, are you sure? Do be careful around him, won't you? He's as well connected on the outside as he is in here. I suppose we'd have to be. How else would the so-called fixers stay in business? The police have been trying to track down his accomplices for the longest time. Even I've had to lend them a hand myself, you know. So that's what that was all about. You're still not talking, ma'am? You want the evidence you borrowed from the precinct?
No, I've tried so many times, but I lost count. What am I supposed to do? I can't send in a black report.
I guess a killer for hire was always going to be a tough nut to crack. You borrowed evidence from the police to help with your investigation, is that correct?
Why, yes, sweetie. Everything related to Kanice is with me now. Heaven knows how many times I've haunted this secretive scoundrel into my office to talk to me. But no matter what I say, or how much evidence I present with him, he simply won't say a word. prison warder conducting interrogation himself. That's irregular to say the least. With your guard down in the value hall. Be careful, darlings. You have been warned.
Ooh-wee. Here I thought things couldn't get any spicier. I love it, Eddie in this. He's such a lad. And it looks like Verdi and Useless are here as well. Judge Gavet, I didn't expect to find you here.
We have been conducting inquiries, which, given that we are in charge of the investigation, is hardly strange. What is strange is that you are still here. Mr. Edgeworth, I did give you a warning, did I not? I told you that your badge was at risk, should our paths cross again. And yet, here you are.
I'm sorry that you have thought I might be so easily discouraged, Your Honor. But I am not about to let the truth slip from my grasp, no matter what you or a committee might say. I am here to present a certain someone with evidence that you yourselves should have uncovered. You have more business with me, I take it, Mr. Edgeworth. I do. I promised I would be back to prove that you were the killer, and here I am. This should be amusing. Very well. Whenever you're ready.
Objection!
Oh, it looks like my friend does not want it to happen.
Not so fast! We have some truths of our own to share. First-rate deductions, in fact.
Indeed. We are more certain than ever that Simeon Saint was the murderer. And that only he could have moved Mr. Knight from his holding cell to the prison proper. I'm sorry, I thought I was afraid of you. We shall prove this to you beyond the shadow of a doubt. But first, a question. Are you quite determined to continue this course, Mr. Edgeworth? Should you fail to rebut your deductions, there will be no going back. Your very career hangs in the balance. What? You mean you'll take his badge if you don't like how this goes? That's intimidation! Not at all. If anything, I'm showing him mercy. This is not Edgeworth's case. It never was. And I am under no obligation to hear him. And I am no under obligation to hear him out. If he is prepared to accept the potential ramifications of his actions, I will allow him one last chance. Well, are you truly willing to take the risk? To put your beloved badge on the line?
Mr. Edgeworth!
Sir! I am here to raise the stakes, Edgeworth. I accept your terms. I am confident of my reasoning, and what's more, I am representing the firm of Edgeworth & Co., and I do not intend to besmirch his name. My duty will be done, and I will not be intimidated. All in, yeah.
Very well. Let's see whether you are brave or simply reckless.
By the power vested in me and by the almighty goddess of justice, let this judgment commence. The poker terms go brrr, absolutely. Eustace, if you will allow me. Fine by me. He's all yours, Gavel. Let's fucking go! Oh, this is so hype. This game is just so good at building hype. You are aware of the incident involving Mr. Knight the day before yesterday, I assume. He assaulted an innocent guard and stole his keys. Later, in the middle of moving the animal cage, Mr. Saint dropped by Mr. Knight's cell for a little visit. That's when Mr. Knight stole out of his cell using the keys he'd stolen. He slipped into the cage and there hid as he was wheeled into one of the prison workshops. I figured she was going to bring Mr. Saint going to the prison Knight's cell. The mistress, let's go. Yesterday, after you so kindly made us aware of the security camera footage, we decided to take a closer look at it ourselves.
Perhaps you would like to see what they found. This is still the footage received. Mr. Saint speaking with the knight at his side. Correct. You will also know that he has positioned his cage in such a way to obscure the camera's view. It is this blind spot that Mr. Knight exploited in order to enter the cage undetected. A sound deduction based on what can be observed, would you say? A blind spot, which means the camera wouldn't have been able to capture the moment Knight entered the cage if he did at all. So it's still possible that he didn't actually leave his cage cell at this point.
I don't get it. Why would Mr. Knight want to hide the cage?
There really is only one possibility. He intended to escape.
A prison break? That's so cool! Mr. Carcerato, Mr. Knight, everybody's doing it! I have to step up my game!
Well, first you need to be arrested.
Okay, now is really not the time.
Yeah, she really needs to shut the fuck up.
Mr. Carcerato's escape is no laughing matter.
It is my belief that Mr. Saint would help Mr. Knight with his escape attempt.
That is to say, he was his accomplice.
Wow, go Simeon!
That wasn't a compliment!
I understand that the cage was briefly taken to one of the workshops.
I imagine that if things had gone to plan, Mr. Knight would have remained in the cage until after the show. And then removed from the premises along with the rest of the circus equipment. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Knight, Unfortunately for Mr. Knight, Mr. Saint had other ideas. He killed his friend in cold blood. Judge Gavel's argument seems more reasonable. But there must be a port in the logic somewhere, and I'm going to find it. You are aware of the incident involving Mr. Knight in the day before yesterday, I assume. He assaulted an innocent guard and stole his keys. Later, in the middle of moving a large animal cage, Mr. Saint stopped by Mr. Knight's cell for a little visit. That's when Mr. Knight stole out of his cell using the keys he'd stolen. He slipped into the cage, and there he hid as he wheeled through one of the prison workshops.
She says that Mr. Knight stole his keys. But didn't he deny that?
Indeed, and if Knight didn't come then, didn't have them, then her entire theory falls apart. That could be the flaw I've been looking for. I should press her on that issue.
Hold it!
Did I forget a guard was murdered? Or is she just pulling that out of her ass? I don't think the guard was not murdered, I think. He was assaulted.
He was bonked. Did you have any proof that Knight stole the keys? I can think of no other reason for him. I can think of no other reason for him to carry out such a brutal attack. Once again, once the guard he assaulted regains consciousness, I am sure he will confirm our suspicions.
I would be so sure.
Perhaps I should press her further on the reasoning. Sorry, but I believe there is a flaw in your reasoning. If Knight had the keys, there was nothing to stop him from leaving whenever he wanted. Why wait for Mr. Saint? There was no need, surely. He chose the option that he deemed most likely to succeed. He stole the keys and hid them somewhere. Then, waited for the opportunity to present himself. He hid the keys. I'm afraid you might have made an uncharacteristic oversight, Your Honor. But Knight wasn't hiding any keys. That has been proven already. And this is the piece of evidence that proves Knight didn't have the keys. I mean, they have yet to be recovered, I think.
Take that!
Is it that? You ever notice how detailed the inner ears of the Ace Attorney characters? Yeah, I do. They are relatively detailed. It's like they have all the inner lobes and everything. Like, it depends on the portraits. Like, some of them are much less detailed than the others, but maybe it just likes drawing ears. I just simplified them because I don't like drawing ears. The ear details. I was more talking about the side profile. Ah, that's fair.
After the assault, the guards searched both Knight and his sail, and no keys were found. And if the whereabouts of the keys cannot be proven, then neither can your theory. I have considered the matter of the missing keys, and I do not think it is such an issue. I still believe he had them, after all. The guards only stated that they were unable to locate them. And this is because they were cleverly hidden inside the pocket chest set. Knight's chest set, the same set in which the murder weapon was also allegedly hidden. Was it? I can't help but wonder about that.
What? But you're the one who proposed it!
Actually, if you recall,
It was Eustace's assertion. Ooh, wow. She is dropping him under the bus. In high traffic. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, she's great.
so the two of them weren't of one mind of this, I take it. Allow me to restate the facts. Mr. Knight hid the keys he stole from the guard inside his chest set. When Mr. Saint came to see him, Mr. Knight used the keys to open his cell and climbed inside the cage. He was then moved from the holding cell to that workshop in Prison Proper, all with the help of his friend and accomplice. Had things all gone to plan, he would have been taken out of the facility after the show.
Yeah, she's so competent. That's wild.
But they did not. Instead, his accomplice murdered him while the show was taking place in the yard.
Objection!
But Mr. Saint was part of the performance. How would he ever have had time to commit the murder?
Overruled!
Oh, what does she have to say here? How indeed? How indeed? Allow me to explain. As you know, many stage performances follow a set narrative. Yesterday's show was one such example. She's done her homework, I see.
Yeah, no, Lady McCompetent over there. It wasn't me, it was that dumbass.
I merely let you assume I agree with his deductions.
She's using the loopholes! Amazing!
The suspect plays the role of the antagonist opposite to the elephantine heroine of the show. In the latter part of the performance, the heroine's love prevails and the villain is defeated.
Bring her back, Capcom, I miss her, even if it was only one cast as a guest judge. That could be interesting, because usually the judges in Ace Attorney tend to be incompetent. Unless they're like the super special judge in Ace Attorney, in the Great Ace Attorney, in the last case.
This victory is depicted in a very unique manner. Whereby, the villain is sent flying from stage by the heroine.
Whee!
He's sent flying by the elephant.
Isn't that dangerous?
Having been ejected on stage in this manner, the villain no longer appears in the performance. In other words, the suspect did not appear on stage for a period of approximately 15 minutes. And you're saying the crime took place during that time? Yes, I'm afraid so. After all, it's more than sufficient window, wouldn't you say?
Objection!
Committing the crime and returning to the stage in a short 15-minute work window is only possible, assuming that the murder took place in the prison proper. But in fact, Your Honor, the real scene of the crime was Mr. Knight's cell. I seem to remember telling you that I would not accept that part of the security footage into evidence.
Objection!
And you won't have to. I have proof of a different kind. Very well. Would it be so good as to present it? What proof do you have that the murder took place in the victim's holding cell?
Take that!
They did swap judges for the Edgeworth versus case. Yeah. Yeah, and he was also like, he was just a reskin of like the original judge. But yeah, they could have done that.
This appears to be a photograph on a floor. Almighty goddess of justice, grant me patience! That floor you're so dismissive of, Your Honor, has traces of Knight's blood on it. Ugh. Traces, you say? Is this evidence reliable? After all, I don't believe you have access to the necessary forensics operatives.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying they could have a Courtney swap for case. They could, absolutely.
Objection!
I have my resources. A certain blunt instrument, you might say, but a reliable one.
No, she's the blunt instrument.
The detective. How very unfortunate for him. Perhaps before you decide to circumvent the law, you might have considered that the committee's influence extends to the police.
Oh no, Gobby's budget's on the line too!
Ha ha ha, I am omnipotent.
Get fucked! Anything you will say will be used against you, Edgeworth. Get fucked! Forgive me, detective. I did not mean to put you at risk as well. I will enter the fact that Mr. Knights was found in the holding cell into evidence. However...
Objection!
Bad luck, idiots!
You're really on the edge now, Mr. Worthless. Someone put this kid in a blender, please. Mr. Winner, I've forgotten you were here. It was nice while it lasted. Mr. Weiner. I just butted in to tell you that your entire argument is one big inconsistency. You showed us the camera footage of a dog killing Mr. Knight in his cell. Are you saying the mutts also wiped the blood up before it left the scene? Uh-oh! What other tricks can you do, huh? A blood-wiping dog? You're a joke! You'd have wiped the blood up, you'd have wiped up the blood up, wouldn't you, boy? Yes, Helmut. Yes, you would. Splatoon 2 Octo expansion. Is it said in reference to... In what is it said in reference to? What? Yeah, don't underestimate the murder weapon. That was one of the tricks I taught him before our work together was so rudely cut short. The blender joke you said. I mean, less so. It's like... Some, like... You know how there's keychain shaker charms that, like, they sell in cons and make and such? So, like, there's also, shaker charms where, like, the case is a blender, and then you put the charm inside, and then they're shaken around. I have a friend who made one of Bill's cipher inside a blender. He's a very tidy boy, you know. Never misses a drop. It wouldn't do to leave any evidence after all. Saved. By an assassin of all people. Jeez Louise. You could have just taught the little guy to shake hands. You could have just taught the guy to shake hands.
Thanks for the help, Kenise. Yeah. Wait, I want to do a better read on this.
Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. You could have just taught the little guy to shake hands. You could have just taught the little guy to shake hands. Oh, he does that marvelously, too. Although, the way I taught him to do is somewhat unorthodox. First, he bites down hard on the victim's hand. Then...
I'm not listening! She's so... I like how Kay is squeamish. It's an interesting character detail.
I see.
Kenise, out of people, spite for Eustace, admits he did teach his dog to clean blood, thus helping Edgeworth's case. Yeah, he's interesting.
I see. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. It seems you may have gathered some evidence worth considering. Your understanding is much appreciated. Wait! I'm not done yet! I just thought of something else! Overruled.
Oh boy, someone's taking no prisoners.
Eustace, would you be so kind as to allow me?
All yours, Gavel. Queen, yeah, listen, she's so competent. She knows when to let Eustace run his mouth and when not to. It's great. Well, do you accept the truth now? The crime took place in Knight's holding cell, and the assassin's dog was the killer.
Overruled. My position is the same as it was yesterday. Until you can explain how the dog moved between the prison and detention center, I cannot accept your theory into evidence.
Hold it!
I thought you might say that, which is why I'd like to show you something else. This piece of evidence shows how the dog could freely travel between the prison and detention center.
Take that!
Does the overruled pop-up ever get used at anyone else, or is it exclusive to her? It's like a Shilong Long's Not So Fast. It's like their alternative to objection.
This is...
It's a secret passageway. It runs beneath the prison. What?
secret passageway?
It was dug up by one Rocco Carcerato, escapee. It leads from his prison cell to a certain holding cell in the detention center. Yes, the very one where the victim was being held. I get that, I just didn't know that if a woman judge in 7 or late didn't use overruled. The woman judge is a prosecutor, not a judge, not that. In 7... What Ace Attorney 7? Oh, you mean just Spirit of Justice. I don't remember if she uses it. Honestly. I've only played Spirit of Justice once, and I didn't even touch the DLC, but I think once was enough.
Well, this is certainly a surprise. To think it was beneath our feet this entire time.
Mr. Connice, you knew of this tunnel, didn't you? Because it's the same tunnel that was used to carry out the murder.
Overruled.
Whoa, what does she have to say now? In the name of the goddess of justice, overruled! Mr. Edgeworth, you are out of line.
Hold it!
How so, Your Honor?
Overruled.
Evidence is everything, whether in a court of law or at the scene of an investigation.
Isn't it your little catchphrase?
Well, it just so happens I have some evidence of my own. Bronco Knight's autopsy report. Oh my god! I love Eddie's come at me bro pose every time they do group reactions. Yeah, it's funny. His autopsy report. When did you get that? Oh my god, ladies, bring out the big guns. How do you not know you had it? Yeah. The police handed it to me only a short while ago. The findings are still preliminary, and it has something of value to tell us nonetheless. The goddess of justice speaks to us through these pages, Mr. Edgeworth. Cause of death, stab wound to the throat, and the weapon is said to be a sharp blade of some sort. I can tell you like her more the rival than Lang. Lang, I'll tell you why. Because she has a better introduction than Lang. Lang, they really fumbled his introduction and made him look incompetent and, overlooking to a ridiculous degree. And she works better here. it also helps that she actually has power over Edgeworth's badge. It gives her stakes. I like, not every attorney needs to be like a jug, or like rival needs to be a juggernaut like her, but it helps when they have most power. And Lang does have like control over it, but he comes off less like a he comes off more like a bully, like in the beginning game, and than anything else. And again, it's like rivals can happen like even if they're not bullying their victim. I'm actually one of the people who says Clavier Gavin is is a good rival and like a good subversion of the Ace Attorney prosecutor. I know I do like Edgeworth rivals are attorneys though. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. I also like Barack von Zeeks. Orange attorneys, yeah. That's great as well. It makes it adds to the palette. I also like Barack von Zeeks quite a lot. Zeeks is racist towards Ryunosuke, which was the style at the time. But he also has legs and he's very courteous. I like that he's courteous. Like Barack von Zeeks is like my favorite Ace Attorney prosecutor, hands down. Edgeworth is more well written, and like he also had a lot of screen time. Gatto has a lot of complexions, but Barack has vibes. The vibes, immaculate. The attitude, fantastic. Love him. He's so great. He's so good. He's top tier. He's like S rank. Surprised it's not Franny. Franziska, oh yeah, Franziska, I like her the more time goes, the more I like Franziska. I think that, like, Franziska as a character, like, as a rival, I think that as a rival, she works better at Edgeworth, like, better against Edgeworth, but again, it's been years since I played Justice for All. I think that, like, I do wanna re-examine to see how well she works, but she works more against Edgeworth than she does with Phoenix, even though, like, with Phoenix, she also works as a good tool of subversion. I have seen scenes of the Wendy Rocket with video essay. I haven't seen all of it yet because again, I want to replay it, but yeah. Franziska is also great. Listen, she's my friend. Franziska is my friend. She's Blackwell. I also like Blackwell. I mean, again, it's been a while, but I like his vibe. I think that he's one of the better characters in Ace Attorney in the Dual Destinies. The only prosecutor I don't like is Naida Sanmati because he's boring, and bland and annoying. The other two we don't gotta talk about. Are you talking about? Yeah. If I want to have religion. It's like, if I want to have religion shoved in my throat, then I can experience it outside of the game. Thank you very much. Like, but overall, I'm a prosecutor enjoyer. Also, the Pains are non-characters. The Pains are a tool for, like, the first cases. There's something to have in the first case to battle against. And they do their job fine. I actually like how in Justice for All, they give him more of a character. And Manfred is great. Manfred is iconic. Manfred is a beast. Absolute beast of a rival. There's a reason why he's so iconic. I really like all the memes that came from RT Games' interpretation of him. Final boss of the series, I mean of the game, but yeah, he's excellent. His credit card number is 000000001 because he is number 1. And his grandniece's dog is called Phoenix. It's so, wow, he's so funny. He's so great. Oh man. Anyways, back to the game. It seems the victim was stabbed repeatedly in the same spot, resulting in an ugly wound. As such, the police have yet to identify the exact shape of the weapon, but its overall nature seems to be beyond question. It is a bladed metal instrument.
In light of this evidence, do you truly wish to continue with your flight of fancy?
Sorry, I want to hear your thoughts. No, it's fine. No need to apologize. I love yapping. Hello, explode things. Phoenix Wright is German. Hamburger. Sorry, I had to. It's fine. Welcome, explode things. Happy holidays. Also, something I need to mention. Happy Novi God to all the Slavs who are gonna celebrate it with Russians. Their Christmas, Russians and Slavics, they celebrate Novi God, which is around New Year instead of Christmas because of reasons. It's not. Yeah. It's not today. I know it's not today. I know it's not today. I explained that it's in New Year's. It's in January. Yeah. Although you now claim the dog used a knife instead. I mean... Have you played Dark Souls, Courtney? Gavel? Dogs can use knives. But that's impossible! How dare you explain things else? That will be all. This court is adjourned.
Objection!
But the tunnel, the paw prints! Hold it, what of them? He'll notice something of the Fondolo. Perhaps he happened to come across the tunnel this one day. I like how Kanice isn't really in Edgeworth's side. And it's great, although I couldn't say for certain. I myself cannot wonder quite so freely. This would be quite a coincidence, but I can't prove it's not the case either. She sure knows how to keep a secret, huh? Kinda wish she kicked us in the teeth a little earlier with that. She was baiting me, waiting for the perfect moment for it to crush me with her autopsy report. How does it feel when the shoe's on the other foot, Edgeworth? It's really funny. I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. You are a lead attorney for the defense, correct, Mr. Fendel? This is the interim autopsy report in question. Cadiz has a love-hate relationship with Edgeworth. I mean, Edgeworth put him away, but you gotta respect the man to put him down. Yeah, I like how he said put it down. It's also a dog-related sentence. Dog-related statement.
I do apologize for the delay.
Its sweetness is dripping with venom. Yeah, that's obviously.
I do apologize for the delay. Yeah, no sweat. Thanks for hooking us up. Yep, it all checks out. Yep. Mr. Thunder, a handshake is not necessary when receiving official court documents, you know.
His language is affection is touch. Forgive him.
So please feel free to let go of my hand. It's not a holy relic after all. You will not do that in my Goddess of Law Minecraft channel, Eddie Fendel. Was just trying to be friendly, Your Honor. Had you lingered a moment longer, the Goddess of Law would have spoken to you throughout my gavel.
Woman, you're a saint. All right, I got it. I mean, if she was Orthodox Jewish, she would just use the like the saving contact rule. Orthodox Jewish women and Jewish men, like they don't hold the opposite sex. Religious one is religious. Yeah. Nice work, Gazelle. Just like we planned it. Just as I planned it.
I did only as you instructed, Eustace. But thank you.
This report came to the police. I'm no choice but to accept its legitimacy. But if the dog didn't kill Knight, then that takes Knight out of the running.
The goddess of justice speaks to me, Mr. Edgeworth, and she is merciful. She tells me that you might keep your badge if you will finally abandon the fruitless quest.
What's her move, sir? I really think she means it this time. What do you think, detective? My answer remains the same, Judge Gavel. I will see my duty done, and I will not be intimidated.
Even with how things stand, you still refuse to concede. This may as well be your last chance. Your badge hangs by a thread.
You know, Gavel gives me blue mana player in MTG because she keeps countering. She keeps countering me. She's saving her counters.
Then let it fall if it must. I have something far more important to protect than as an associate attorney. My client.
Oh, he's doing the thing.
The goddess of justice is no doubt saddened by your refusal to accept yet another offer of mercy.
Hold it. Attaboy, Miles. That's what I'd like to see.
Looks like the defense never rests is really starting to mean something to you.
Credit to your old man, though. He's the one who said it first.
My father.
In fact, I could swear I saw Gregory's spirit in you in a second there. I can't ramble about her without spoilers. Yeah, unfortunately. You said you've changed since your days in Von Karma's shadow. But once her shit is revealed, her actions in the case make so much sense. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, we're going to talk about it later.
Since your days in Von Karma's shadow.
I didn't believe you at first, but I'm starting to. Hooray! Character development for Fender!
Thank you, Fender.
Alright, kids. This is where the rubber really hits the road. Put your thinking caps on. It's make or break time. If it's true that Knight was off with a bladed weapon, does her whole case really fall apart?
A bladed weapon, of course. There were 5 chisels in Kinesis' cell when we last looked. Former assassins certainly wouldn't struggle to commit murder with the 2 like that. In which case, the weapon could have killed Knight once. Have you quite finished? It would be no
Hold
to
it!
concede. Evidence is everything. It may well be my little catchphrase, but it's also true.
So the murder weapon was a sharp blade? Then where is it? The guards didn't find it.
Why could you let this go? So what if they didn't find it? What are you driving at? What if I were to tell you that I now know what the weapon was?
I mean, it's more Fender seeing Edgeworth's redemption arc while the player playing the character trilogy. Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. I also like that, like, despite all of Edgeworth's redemption, he still has ways to go. He still hasn't completely cleansed his reputation of like 4 years of being a demon prosecutor. It was one of Mr. Kinesis' chisels.
What?
Overruled.
I would advise you to stop bombarding us with your irresponsible half-baked theories, Mr. Edgeworth. You have repeatedly insisted Mr. Knight was killed with his chisel in his cell by a dog. I simply go where the evidence takes me, both in the courtroom and at the scene of crime. If the murder weapon was in fact the chisel, then yes, the murderer could not have been the dog. But that begs the question of what exactly was what we saw in the security footage. Oh yeah, that security footage! How do you explain that, Mr. Smarty Pants? An excellent question. The footage show... Mr. Kinesis' dog jumping up at Knight. The dog attacked Knight, but he didn't kill the man. He didn't? No, Knight was merely knocked out. The dog didn't drag a corpse to the tunnel. He dragged an alive but unconscious Knight. The real killer was the dog's master. Oh, I get it. By bringing Knight here, Mr. Kinesis could finish the job.
And he could definitely use one of his chisels to do it.
Luca Jin ruined Courtney's shock sprite for me. Oh no.
Correct. You, Bodhidharma Kanice. You're the only one who could have done it.
Objection!
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth. You ever get this on your report card? Refuses to listen, must learn to respect others. That's probably something you got. Are you asking me or confessing to what's on yours?
Oh my god. They are the sassy lost child vibes that are coming from this kid. Oh my goodness.
We already searched Mr. Kanice's cell from top to bottom. Right, Gavel?
Oh, no, her bra joke. Oh, right. Yeah, no, her boobs are pretty... Her boobs are definitely held up. They're kind of like balloons, unfortunately.
Yes, we even inspected his chisels.
Her boobs were pretty. Her boobs are pretty. Yes, women appreciating women.
Yes, we even inspected our chisels. All 4 of them.
Bad time for a brain fart.
There wasn't a single speck of blood.
Hold it!
Why, thank you, Your Honor. You have just confirmed my theory.
I have?
What exactly do you mean? The last time they were here, there were 5 chisels, not 4.
Oh yeah! I remember counting them! Definitely 5!
And the one that's missing is the small one. The one we thought might be a pocket chisel. Mr. Kanice, where did you hide that chisel? A pocket chisel. And what might I have a use for such a thing, I am rarely allowed to leave my cell. In which case, he shouldn't have had a chance to dispose of the weapon. You've dug your own grave, Mr. Kanice. You seem to have an idea where this missing chisel might be.
Mr. Edgeworth, would you enlighten us?
For a man who can't leave his cell his own volition, Kanice could have only be hiding his chisel here. It's in maximum security.
Take that!
Mr. Kanice is still a prisoner. Despite the comfort he enjoys, he is rarely allowed out of his cell. He could have given his chisels to his dog to leave somewhere. But that wouldn't have been far from the ideal. Yeah, if you can clip it for me, that'll be funny. He would have no way of guaranteeing where it might end up. Intriguing. Do go on, Mr. Edgeworth. Furthermore, this room is one place where a bladed instrument wouldn't raise an eyebrow. 4 chisels, 5 chisels, who's counting? A fact he fully took advantage of. Ah, the old keep the incriminating evidence close routine. Classic.
Objection!
But I looked! I searched the whole cell myself and there's just nowhere you could have hidden it!
Objection!
I'm certain that the murder weapon is here. And that's the reason why no one's found it yet. Because it was hidden in such an ingenious manner. Hold it. Do enlighten us, Mr. Edgeworth. What was my ingenious plan? Think, Miles. There must be a hiding spot you could make use of. Think about where you came here previously. What are you missing? He's not showing us out permanently, right?
Let's get out of here, come on!
The dog hasn't made a sound today. I can't believe I'm getting memes in while I'm in chat. How dare. I'll look it up later. When we were here before, he barked and growled repeatedly. Kanice have encouraged him to do so. That must be it! I knew something was off. But I can hardly believe it. But I think I know where they hid the weapon.
Giving up already. I expected more of you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hold it!
As well as you should. If you would give me a moment. For this piece of evidence shows where you hid the murder weapon. For you see...
Take that!
Like the vine that came out a few years ago, what the dog doing? Your dog. He seems unusually quiet today.
Oh yeah! Unlike last time when...
Mr. Knies, if you would please be so kind as to open Helmut's mouth. Oh, come now. He hasn't barked because he's a well-behaved boy. I had to order him last time. Then order him again this instant. It's not like we're asking for the world, Mr. Knies. Or do you have something to hide?
If you insist.
Come on, Helmut. Open up. Oh my god. He just kept it in there! If I had one of your jokes sent in the end, I'll check it later. What? A chisel in the dog? Why is there a chisel in the dog? I thought he'd be strangely quiet. I guess his brain is finally caught up. Eustace? Why don't you be a good boy and call forensics? Tell him it's urgent. Better than drugs and a dog. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Our findings are as follows. Traces of blood were detected on the chisel. What? Be a good boy. Absolutely. Not such a half-baked theory after all, was it? Alright, so we're on the same page here. This is our murder weapon, yeah? The forensic evidence cannot be ignored. We have no choice but to concede this is the most likely is a case. She's just not escaping the mommy allegations. She's not escaping the mommy allegations. Absolutely. Yeah, she isn't. Mr. Knies, in light of the discovery of the murder weapon, the court demands that you explain yourself. Oh my god. How do you propose you talk your way out of this one?
You never fail to entertain, Mr. Edgeworth.
Why does he always laugh like that? Even when it's not funny?
Poor Helmut.
How could they suspect us,
You leave me little choice. I shall simply have to share with you the truth. I did not kill anyone. I've grown tired of killing.
Something's not right. Why is he so calm? Very well. The court will hear Mr. Knies' testimony. Oh wait, I gave her the... I did not give her the right voice. If you would be so kind.
Gladly. Perhaps you might begin by explaining what you believe my motive would have been. I never knew this night. I had no contact with him. No connection whatsoever. Given that this is the case, why would I possibly wish him dead? Could it be that you're suggesting it was my canine companion who had the motive instead?
Hello, I am Evil Face Man. I have dog. Fear me, yes.
Helmut only bears his fangs when I tell him to. I am not so bloodthirsty that I would kill a man I did not know.
I mean, when he puts it that way...
Also, my head is a fucking egg.
Absolute egghead. He's the main alien from this crystal skull. Yeah.
Wait. I almost forgot that the fourth Indiana Jones had aliens. Whack. An assassin who indicated his acquaintances. Well, this sounded a business model, I agree.
My work has required me to kill with strangers, of course. But murder for its own sake? That's not my style.
So I need to prove a link between Knight and Canice. I should go over the evidence again and see what I can discover.
You fool. I have 7 alternative accounts.
Yeah, the crystal skull was an alien skull. Oh, really? Interesting. Oh, I was supposed to read an Eggman's voice from the dub. Okay, I'll do it.
You fool! I have 7 alternative accounts!
Was that better?
I'm back in the fucking building again!
I love, who doesn't love the real-time fandom, a real internet classic. Okay, this testimony's pretty easy.
Objection!
His voice is very difficult to replicate. It's like,
You're getting sloppy, Mr. Canice. You may have trained your dog to clean up your mess, but some things still require human touch. We found this to the victim's room. It's the record of a game of correspondence chess. What's more, this game depicted matches the game laid out on your board.
What?
The number of possible games could have been calculated to be 10 by the power of 120, and that's on the low end.
oh, he's being a chess nerd again. Nerd power is used to solve the case.
Wait, so that's 10 times 10 is 120 times over, right? 100,000. I give up. I mean, what do you even call a number that big?
A vanishingly likely coincidence, that's what. Now, tell us why you killed Knight. Unless, that is, you prefer to explain the coincidence.
Well, they do say the truth is stranger than fiction. It is, as you say, a coincidence.
But that's not totally impossible! We just proved that!
A coincidence of a different kind, child. I never imagined my correspondent was the victim, you see. And yet, here we are. Helmut is as surprised as I am. Aren't you, Helmut? Yes.
I just saw Helmut's ear lift up. I never noticed that before.
I suppose there's...
Oh, here it is again! It's lifting up! What a good boy.
I suppose there's nothing for it but to finally tell the truth, boy. The other prisoners all gone to the yard, you see. There was a show of some sort, I believe. Here I was, minding my own business, when in comes Helmut, dragging a corpse of all things. I had quite the shock, not at least because the murder weapon was still the poor fellow's neck. Of course, I was none too keen on becoming a suspect, so I had Helmut take the body to the workshop.
I said proof Canice is an alien in the DMs. I'm gonna put it up. I think I'm gonna put it up for everyone to see. Hold on. Wow. I can't believe aliens are also canon in Ace Attorney. I thought they were just something law to make things exist, and then it's proved to be made up. To the workshop. Once there, he removed the murder weapon and brought it back to me, just as I had asked.
The dog pulled out the murder weapon in the workshop.
Indeed it did. Moving it here would have been made an awful mess after all. You know something. That makes total sense. Remember when Mr. Saw it said, Mr. Edgeworth? A huge black dog had sunk his terrible teeth into the victim's throat. What did you just say? It was hellish. Utterly hellish. That beast. That awful beast. He killed him. I see.
It's in the shape. Yeah, I cannot deny it's in the same shape. He also has the veins in the back. Crazy.
I see. So what Mr. Sword actually saw was Helmut removing the weapon then. Precisely. I can hardly say I was a little disappointed he was spotted, of course. Silly boy. It's not like you just slip up on that, right? And there you have it. This is all there is to tell. I did not kill the man at most. I am responsible for the removal of the weapon. Now, will that be all? For Helmut is growing restless.
Objection!
Oh my goodness, it's time for the ethic objection. Sorry, but if you could entertain us for just a little longer, Mr. Knies. Fenta? No offense, Palio, but I don't think you quite told us everything. I'm sure we'd all like to know why you thought you needed to pull the chisel out of the first place. There he goes again, thinking from the angle we haven't thought of yet. He's right. It makes sense that he would move the body to avoid suspicion. But Knies had no reason to recover the murder weapon. So the mute one isn't as dumb as I thought. Please answer the question, Mr. Knies. It was because of the bell. The one attached to the chisel and around one Helmut's neck. Have a very distinctive design, if you will. Of course, they were both something of a trademark of yours, were they not? And he's good at the veteran character. Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't overtake the spotlight, and he doesn't, and he manages to point out things he didn't. Like, it's something that, admittedly, I'm a defender of Paul of Justice Ace Attorney. I've grown to like the game more as the years went on, and I've gotten more reading comprehension. But Phoenix is not a good a veteran character. Even calling him the mute one implies he's just silently watching and thinking before he has something to say. Yes,
I don't get it. How does that even work?
Bodhidharma Knies, the blind butcher. His appearance was always announced by the sound of bells. The last sound his victims would ever hear.
You flatter me. Though it's been years since you last saw one of them, you remember them well.
Your knife has in its attached bell were one of the pieces of evidence seized in our case against you.
Yes, it was one of my bells. One of my 2 in existence.
Just 2? Knies is just an evil daredevil when you think about it. Yeah, guess so.
2 and only 2. One for my knife, and one for my beloved Helmut. Exquisitely crafted. Utterly unique. My ears are my guide, after all.
I'm also surprised that he manages to write so well.
And I must be able to use my tools precisely. Of course, as you said, the knife has been long since been taken from me. When Helmut brought the body to my cell, I was rather surprised to hear a familiar sound.
Braille erasers are cool. What is a Braille eraser? Braille eraser? One of them, why do they look like a sperm? They kind of look like sperms, I'm sorry. I mean, not really, not like exactly, I just... they're lewd. What do you mean sus and lewd? Look at this! Look at this and tell me it does not look phallic. Fine, okay, I'm a hypocrite. Eraser. I mean, not all of them look like this. Some of them look... You just want to share something cool about the Braille language. I'm sorry. Okay, so it's my fault. I over-assumed. The Braille language is very... I'm all for accessibility, and I think it's really cool that, like, the Braille has that. I'm changing the image. Hold on. What do you mean unable to save image? Hold on. Oh, it's there. If I squint, it doesn't really look like a sperm, but it kind of, I think the color and the shape looks kind of spermy. I did not mean to, like, listen, I did not mean to shame, like, anyone, and I'm pretty sure it's helpful, and the fact that it can erase Braille language is fine and all. Sperm and phallic are two different... Sperm and phallic are two different shapes. Fine! Fine, you got me. I'm the one who needs to get my head out of the gutter for once. You got me, chat. At first, I was sure my knife had been used to do the deed. But no, a chisel. An ordinary chisel. It's certainly no assassin's blade. Nonetheless, the bell would have suggested my involvement. Compounding the matter is the fact that I am the only person in prison permitted to use such tools. So this bell was from Kanisa's knife, and it was attached to this in order to frame him interesting. My mind is never in the gutter. I just make new windows. Fair. It was clear that I would become the prime suspect. So the chisel had to be removed and hidden.
Hold it!
You still claim all you did was have the dog move the body? That you had nothing to do with the killing? Hold it. How could I? I told you, the chisel is not mine. You need not take my word, Mr. Edgeworth. Why not have it checked for fingerprints? Eustace? Eustace? Huh? Me? But I don't know how to check for prints. Get forensics. Oh, right. Sure thing. We got him. Fingerprints. They're Mr. Knight's and Mr. Kanisa's. Nope. Just Mr. Knight's. Oh, and forensics said there was no sign of any prints having been wiped off. He's so stupid. Yeah. There's nothing but air inside of his head. Only Knight's fingerprints. This isn't good. Should I get them to check again? Now, do you say? I have never so much as touched that chisel. And what carried it in his mouth. That's all. For any prince must belong to whoever had it last. Hot air at that, yeah. Ugh. So the murder weapon belonged to the victim. Ooh, that's not helpful. As I said, I have not touched the chisel. Therefore, I cannot be the killer. Or do you wish to suggest otherwise? Grr! I've got nothing to counter with. But what could it mean? Is he not the killer after all? Is he actually saying the truth? No, it can't be. I'm sure all this goes without saying, I'm sure this all goes without saying, Mr. Edgeworth. But if you do not find a solution to your current predicament and quickly, I will have little choice but to relieve you of your badge. Even my patience has a limit, and I will not tolerate you throwing this investigation chaos. Am I clear?
You've done it now, sir. She's serious. I hate to admit it, but fingerprints turn everything on its head. Without more evidence, I'm back to square one.
Wait, something doesn't add up. A few things, actually.
Edgeworth, your own all criminals are evil side is resurfacing, so to be fair, Canice is a killer for hire. Yep.
What would Mr. Knight have needed a chisel for?
You can do a lot with a chisel, child. Break out of prison for once.
Alright, then how did he get it in here? There's no way the guards would let him bring a super sharp tool with him, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Hey! Mr. Edgeworth! You can't stand there humming and hawing just because of a little setback. The important thing is finding the truth, you know? It doesn't matter how we get here. As long as we save Simeon in the end. We can't give up now, or ever.
Yeah, what she said. I'll second that. You won me around with that, Kay. I'm half tempted to offer you a job for real. Let him cook, Kay. Yeah. It's like I said, the defense never rests. Or rather, like your pop said. What do you think lies at the heart of those words, Miles? Any guesses? The heart of those words. It's like this. As defense attorneys, our client's fate rests on our shoulders. We're the only ones we can turn to. Simeon's our client, and we're the only ones who can save him. So we can't rest. Not while he's counting on us. I'm not about to turn my back on your old man's legacy. Are you? You're not... Are you? Oh, I'm going to check that. I'm an associate of defense now. No, I'm an associate with my father's firm. That's the role I have chosen, and that means that if I fail to save my client, I have failed my duties. I will honor my father's vision and save Simeon Saint. No matter what setbacks I face, I cannot admit defeat. If one path is blocked, I must simply find another.
There we go! That's the Miles Edgeworth I know. Now let's find a new path forward. We can start by trying to figure out how Mr. Knight brought that chisel into prison.
Right. How would Knight have managed to bring the chisel in here?
Well, it's in the Alcatraz set.
Usually, it wouldn't be possible to bring a metal object into the facility undetected.
Because of the security gates, right?
Correct. But we already know the checks at one of the gates haven't been entirely thorough as of late. Namely, the gate in the entrance to the detention center. The gate is only used to scan people. Any items they bring to the facility are only subjected to a cursory check. Well, you're telling me that the chest wasn't put through the metal detector? It should have been. Alas, it seems the guards have gone a little lax regarding that of late. Knight took advantage of this little oversight and had Mr. Saint bring him the chisel. Hidden inside his pocket chest set. It does answer one of our questions. And it suggests that the chisel was indeed Mr. Knight's and not Mr. Canice's. Interesting. However, we still have one rather pressing problem to address. That is the security footage in which Knight attacked that by dog. How does one explain if Mr. Canice was not the culprit? But then, how do you explain his prints not being in the murder weapon? That's a real three-piper. What are your thoughts on major factions of the entire case? Is incompetent. I think it's in character, to be honest. The police in the Ace Attorney games constantly, like, at least in Phoenix's cases, has been known to arrest the wrong client. I mean, it is a little shoddy, it is a little contrived, but I'm willing to suspend my disbelief, you know? Wait, sir, I think it might be time to show another one of my secret weapons. Introducing secret weapon number 4, Lil V. What sort of name is that, detective? I came up with it myself, sir. Anyway, you can use it to analyze the video footage. An excellent idea.
Perhaps you can then again finally see I'm telling the truth. Who knows if there's anything to be found, but it has to be worth a try.
Fair enough, I just don't know how huge Factor's case is. While there is metal detectors, they weren't used because the guards got lazy. Yeah, it feels a little too... It's a little hard to suspend disbelief, but yeah. Alright, why don't you take you through how I use it, sir? Seeing as I'm not exactly familiar with the video analysis techniques, maybe I should hear him out. If you could run me through this functions, detective, that would be most appreciated. Yes, sir! So basically, you just gotta do what you always do. Examine anything that catches your eye. And then I can examine things with T, see? Next up, see those controls in the bottom of the screen? Panels of the left and right, it lets you rewind and go fast forward. And then, you can use the middle one to pause. Get used to those, you're golden, sir. This user can also press E to fast forward and Q to rewind footage. And I can press space to pause. When the video is paused, you can go to the previous frame with Q or the next with E. Or just use the same control panels I showed you earlier. Maybe the entire chest set was lined up as with lead or something. They couldn't tell if it had compartment or something, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Lastly, it'd be better to explain how to zoom in. Yeah, I think, you know, that's actually a good idea. That's maybe that would have solved it. I didn't know lead couldn't be detected in metal detectors. Just line up the old cursor with the area 1 to take a closer look at. And then use the panel at the bottom right. A little V will do the rest. You got those 2 expanding arrows right on it. Can't miss it, sir. It would appear that I can zoom by pressing R2. By the way, even when you're zoomed in, you can still examine stuff, just like in the regular view. And also, you can make use of previous and next frame to get a good look at what's really happening. One thing you can't do when you're zoomed in is play the footage, so there's that. I see. And how do we zoom out again? Just use the panel to the lower right again, sir. See how it's gone from expanding to collapsing the arrows there? That's because you're zoomed in. And that's about sums it up. Let's fire little V up for real. Remember, just examine anything that catches your eye and you'll do fine. The footage from Knight's holding cell. Other than the victim being attacked by the dog, I can't see what else might show up. But suppose we're wrong. What else could we be looking at instead? There's few materials that can bypass detection, especially back when this game was written and the tech was less advanced. Fair. Could the person in the footage could be something other than Knight? And if so, could whatever attacking them be something else too? I should keep both questions in mind while reviewing the footage. You never know what you're gonna look at when you start looking at things up close. Oh, so like titanium, cobalt, chrome, alloys, and stainless steel. Oh, aluminum. Oh, that's super interesting. When the footage seems on. Nope, it doesn't seem like there's anything here. Nothing in the mirror. Let's continue. There we go. This is new. Sir, look! Also magnets. Also fuck the... Yeah, maybe there were magnets in the chess set. Sir, look! I suppose we may have made a critical... I suspect we may have made a critical error in judgment. What we're looking at here is no dog. That animal is a bear. That's not a dog, it's a bear.
What? So the paw prints from the photo I took
were not canine but ursine. Interesting. Actually, I remember this one. A bear. So that could mean... Yes, I think it could. After all, who else do we know with such a pet?
And if we're mistaken about the creature in the footage, it's not inconceivable that we were mistaken about the person in the footage too.
Maybe there's something there that could prove it, sir. Something that shows it was a knight.
You're right. We can't see the person's face, which means that direct identification is out of the question. But perhaps there's something we can tell that can who they are indirectly.
Indirectly? Like the mirror?
Yes, it's certainly worth a look. What in the footage seems odd?
Is this it?
The figure is reflected in the mirror here too. Is that a hat?
Say, doesn't that look like the hats the guards wear, sir?
Oh, jeez, is this what I think it is? Have there been any more reports of the animals attacking the god recently?
Not that I've heard of.
So this may not be a god at all, but somebody dressed as one. Perhaps this might shed a little light on the matter of the hat. It's the fact that police uniforms were stolen.
Take that!
So no guards have reported being attacked by an animal as far as we know. But we did hear about a god's spare uniform being stolen. Could the person in the security footage perhaps be someone disguised as a guard? Someone attempting to escape without being noticed.
A guard disguise? I guess it might work. Wait, weren't we just talking about someone?
We were indeed. Someone who seems to have successfully made their escape. We had assumed that it was Knight in the security footage.
Well, it was his cell. It's hardly a crazy theory.
Perhaps, but now we know it's the hole under his bed. It's no longer just it's no longer the only possibility. Whoever had access to the tunnel could very well be the one caught in the camera.
And who was that, Mr. Edgeworth?
Would you care to tell the court who you believe the person to be?
The person in the security footage is Rocco Carcerato.
Take that!
I believe I knew who a god in disguise is. It's none other than Rocco Carcerato, the prisoner who recently escaped from this facility. I'm confident it was him because he assigned a polar bear cub as a companion. He was assigned himself.
But the polar bear in the video is all black.
Indeed, and we have the evidence that explains why. The evidence that explains the polar bear's dark fur is...
Take that!
Recall, if you will, Mr. Frank Sowet's testimony.
That's the rubber glove I dropped.
Would you care to explain why it's so dirty?
Oh, of course. That's mud from one of the pet treatments I've been practicing.
Being racist. It's like she said, you can't just call people black. You can't just ask you can't just point out that people are black, bears are black, okay?
I was giving one of the animals a mud pack right when the incident happened.
I see. Around what time would that have been?
Let's see. The show had already started, so around 9 a.m. perhaps? The thing is, the more mud I applied, the more in the zone I got, and the darker the animal's fur became. There's no trance like the trance one enters when all at once slathers an animal with thick black mud.
While the circus performance was underway, he was giving one of the animals a mud pack treatment.
And that animal could have been...
Indeed, our polar bear.
Overruled!
Mr. Edgeworth,
Your latest assertion is simply introducing another contradiction.
Objection!
Oh, wait. Wait. The footage from the security camera. I fully understand, Your Honor, and your doubts are entirely justified. Mr. Sowet mentioned applying the mud pack while the circus performance was underway. And this does indeed introduce a new contradiction concerning the security footage. Kind of well how this prison has an endangered animal, though. It is. They also have snow monkeys, which is... I mean... In Japan logic, it makes more sense because snow monkeys are native there. But in Japanifornia, I don't know, Chief.
It does?
Yes, let's put it this way. When would you expect the footage to have been recorded, Kay?
it was taken right after he applied the mud pack treatment. It should have been around 9 a.m.
In which case, something isn't right about the footage.
Really? And what's that?
What new contradiction does security footage introduce relative to when it was reported? Oh my god. We need to point evidence now, fuck. Is it the timestamp? Oh, it is the timestamp.
Take that!
Mr. Soward said he administered the treatment around 9 a.m. In which case, the security footage should have shown a time around 9. However, this timestamp says it's 6:42 a.m. On the day of the murder, the prisoners all went out of the yard to watch the circus. All except 3. Mr. Knies remained in his cell for maximum security. Mr. Soward was administering the mud pack treatment at the workshop. And Rocco Calzarato had been awaiting the precise moment to put his escape plan to action. I believe he entrusted a polar bear to Soward before entering the tunnel. And the bear then slipped out of Mr. Soward's grasp to run after its human. Mr. Soward would have then left the workshop to pursue the bear, at which point he saw Mr. Knies' dog retrieving the murder weapon from Knight's body. It all fits perfectly, except for the security footage, which should have been recorded around 9 a.m. However, the timestamp is 3 hours off.
But why would a timestamp be wrong?
Detective, I would like you to have the security camera examined. Right away, please. I'm back, sir. I just talked with the guards and... Seems like the time codes can slip on these cameras when they lose power. Oh, shit! Oh, shit, there was a power outage! What? They're pretty old, sir. Guess the old clock stops when the power is off. Which would mean the power is off for approximately 3 hours at some point. Oh, this is interesting. That's not all, sir. You remember how Knight denied stealing the keys? No one believed him considering, well, you know, he kinda seemed like the only suspect. Turns out it wasn't all he said. He also said he was knocked out cold just like the other guy. Which may not be necessarily been a lie. That's another thing that maybe the metal detectors weren't working there in the power outage. Also true.
Darlings, there you are.
How goes the investigation? Is there anything I can do to help things go along?
Actually, there might be something we can do for you, Warden Lagarde. The escape. He, Mr. Calzarato. I believe he must still be on the premises. He is disguised as a god. Here's proof should you need it. We would reasonably be certain that the person captured on tape is our man. If I'm correct, he might even be right here in this room with us now.
Hey, Mr. Calzarato would have been wearing a bracelet, right?
Yes, the bracelet could easily be hidden around the sleeves of his stern uniform. Furthermore, the doors of the prison proper don't have those sensor detector bracelet installed. So if he avoided doors with sensors, he simply waited the opportunity to finally make his escape.
Well, yes, I suppose he could. He'd just have to avoid the workshops and the cells and... Oh my! He's one of you, isn't he? He's here right now! Look, it's Teddy!
Hey, paws off! Get your mitts out of me! Off of me, you big palooka! Palooka, wow. That's a line that is rarely used in ever in media. Thank you, Teddy. Very kind of you to confirm my suspicions. Gah! Dang it, kid! If it weren't for you, Ida! What a thing is to be loved, huh, Mr. Calzarato? Donald Duck asks, yeah, palooka! I cannot do a Donald Duck impersonation, unfortunately. What a thing it is to be loved, huh, Mr. Calzarato? I'm almost envious. Guards, apprehend this man. A moment, if you will.
I have some questions for our would-be escapee. If we got to learn the truth, I will need to speak with him. With your permission, of course. I can hardly say no, now can I? Well, come on then. Hit me with your best shot. Mr. Carcerato's escape route led directly to tonight's cell. So it's highly possible he has something to offer. Tell me what you were doing on the day Mr. Knight's body was discovered.
Okay. We're gonna do one more investigation, one more cross-examination, and then we'll finish for today. So it was you guys, huh? You're the ones who found my secret getaway tunnel. You know how long it took me to dig that freaking thing? I had Edgeworth, you have a sister who's flew from one country to another to do a favor, and a lover who almost died several times to help you. To be loved, my ass. Yeah. It's the depression kicking in. I had a guard's uniform, a whole dug, and a plan in place. So I went on it the day you found the guy. But then this guy had to come right after me. That sack of fire was covered in mud too. Had to go back to our cell. Ah! I would have gotten away with it if somebody had enough for night and brought 2 bombs down here. Off night.
You claim to have dug the tunnel just now. How exactly did you do it?
How? Used everything to get my hands on. See? Hammers, spoons, you name it. Spent every dime I had on this cockamamie fixer. And then, what do I got to show it for it now, huh? Do not be disheartened, friend. Tomorrow's another day. There's an outside chance that Mr. Carcerato and Knight might meet face to face, just before Knight's death. I should see what other details I can extract from him. Let's just press statements until we get another one.
Hold it!
The tunnel here. Shut up! Who telling you to hold? Who you telling to hold it? The child you said you. Not! You don't know nothing! You know no. You don't know what I had to do. Had to come crawling the fixer monk. Had to growl to kowtow day after day. How are you gonna give me back the hours, huh? The days? The months? I can't get a word in edgewise. You should have snuck your nose in my tunnel. You should have never snuck your nose in my tunnel. Never! You know how long it took me to dig that frickin' thing?
Hold it!
See, the tunnel was all your own work. Every inch. You see anybody else in my cell? In my cell here that was there, That's quite an effort for an athlete.
Yeah, now that I think of it, that's kind of an insane amount of digging for one guy.
Yeah, well, you don't even know the half of it, kid. But it ain't like I had a choice. Trust nobody and don't get caught. Them's the rules a con's gotta live by.
Huh. You know, the rules of being a great thief are pretty similar.
Okay? I'd rather not start sympathizing with the suspect, and you shouldn't tell that you're a great thief around officials.
Ah, I was just joking, Mr. Edgeworth.
It ain't sticking joke to me. You punks owe me. Thanks, you Edgeworth. Yeah. I had me a guard's uniform, a whole dug, and a plan in place. So I went for it the day you found the guy.
Hold it!
The uniform. Was it from that fixer too? Uh-huh. Sure was. Heard he was something one of the guards. He had something on one of the guards. Had the guy swipe it from my pal's locker. And where are you wearing it when you were crawling through the tunnel? Nope, it would have got dirt on it. I had to hold on to it till I got to the holding cell. But once I got out of there and dressed up, opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake. Here we go, I thinks. Freedom beckons. And then the furball here jumps at me. Which would be the moment captured on camera. I see. I'd be grateful if you could add that to your testimony. Once I was out of the tunnel, all dressed up, opening the cell should have been a piece of cake. But then this little guy just had to come after me.
Hold it!
I wanna press more statements. Opening a cell, there should have been a piece of cake, you say. Sure, anything seems easy after dragging yourself through a hole in the ground. You were familiar with the layout of the detention center, even though you live in prison. But why wouldn't I be? It ain't like I've never been there before. I mean, he was in the trial. It's similar detention center, you will surely be aware that unlike the doors in the main prison, the holding cell doors are locked with actual keys. I'm sure Mr. Conservato would need a particular piece of evidence to make his escape. There we go. Even gave me the hint.
Objection!
You claim that leaving the holding cell would have been a piece of cake, as you put it. Yeah, you got a problem with that? Cause we can make it a problem if you catch my drift. My drift. My drift. Yeah, I need to... Even once you had reached Mr. Knight's cell, you still had another door to contend with. How exactly do you plan on opening it? Mr. Conservato, I posit that you leaving the cell would have been a piece of cake, only because you'd had the key. Good. I don't got no stinking key. I don't need one. It was a piece of cake if the door was open. I walked right out.
Objection!
Yes, I suppose Knight's cell was vacant by that point. There would have been no reason to lock it. And it was indeed unlocked when I went to examine it for myself. So perhaps when you finally succeeded today, it really was unlocked because you were after the murder. It was after the murder. But you had attempted to escape previously.
Yeah, the security footage shows that you tried and failed because Teddy caught you.
Which was during the circus performance, before the body was discovered. The holding cell was locked at that time, because no one knows that Knight had been killed yet. Therefore, you must have had the key to his cell on you. Without it, your escape would have not been possible. Go out!
Are you saying... Could he really have...
I believe he could, yes. The theft of the keys was in fact perpetrated by none other than Mr. Conservato, who attacked the guard. He is the one who attacked the guard. Oh, is that it? But not just the guard. Knight too, and to gain possession of God's keys. Oh shit, so that's how it worked. It wasn't me, you lousy bum. I didn't even know this Knight guy.
Objection!
After you stole the keys, you went back to your cell to avoid suspicion. And then you waited for the perfect moment to escape. A moment where the prison would be almost deserted. That's right. They rented the show, just before the discovery of your body. Unluckily for you, that particular attempt was thwarted by your furry friend. Hold it! Says who, huh? You got proof, genius? This ain't your win yet, nuh-uh. Knight knocked the guard out for the count. And everybody knows it.
Objection!
Don't play games with me. Knight was as much a victim as the guards in this case. As a matter of fact, I proved that Knight would have been attacked in his cell.
Take that!
That proves it? Indeed it does, and I got it mistaken. Yes, I think I see it. Very victim-y. Very victim-y indeed.
Overruled!
Mr. Edgeworth, this piece of evidence is utterly meaningless. Really? Yeah, that's what I meant to say! Good. If only she weren't here. I have to try and recall the evidence we found in Knight's cell. There's something in here that presents we must have really happened between the two of them. I guess you had nothing after all, huh? Eustace is mirroring here at least, yes. Oh, whoops. Is there any proof that Knight was attacked in his cell? The blood. We found traces of Knight's blood on the cleanly wiped floor in his cell. What could possibly explain such a thing other than him having been attacked? If it was you who attacked him, you ambushed both of them and stole the keys. Why, I oughta... What's with you, huh? That newspaper wiped that blood for good. Ain't no way you should have found it.
Okay, but why did you just think you had to wipe it up anyway?
If they checked Knight in the guard's hands, they would have seen they never came to blows. But that blood's given the whole game. Ain't no way they don't figure out the third one was in the ring. Plus, when they started sniffing around the floor, they'd have found a tunnel in a heartbeat. So you wiped the blood to buy yourself a little more time. So you could wait for a better opportunity? Sadly, the opportunity you sought wasn't good enough to get you clear out of the prison, it seems. Now, hand over the keys. Right in the kisser! Yeah! He also used that line, that's funny. They found some really funny lines in there. KO'd by a lousy stinking bum! Fine, you want keys? Here, I hope you choke on them. You got the keys, hooray.
Overruled.
Wait a moment. If Mr. Carcerato had the keys. Indeed. Your Honor, the whole theory relies on Knight having been used the keys to allegedly steal to escape his cell. That was the only way he could have been able to enter Mr. Saint's cage and move to the workshop. Unfortunately for you, we now know that theory cannot possibly be true. Ah! No! I guess that changes things a bit, huh? Now wait, I guess that changes things a bit, yeah? Now the only person who can move Knight's body is the person who knew about that tunnel. No! You gotta be freaking... Mr. Carcerato, you're under arrest! Calm quietly now, pal! There goes her bra. Yeah, it kinda does. The physics. Wait! You got the wrong guy! I didn't do nothing! Alright, fine, I knocked those two chumps out, and I stole the keys! And after that, I went right through my cell and waited for my moment. Next step, I went to Knight's cell. There was nobody around. I mean, nobody! Plus, his body was found in the workshop. You think he just magicked his way in there or something? I couldn't even got my cell! Indeed. You only had the key to Knight's cell. You couldn't have left your own cell back in the prison. But Mr. Knights' dog could. What? It was not you, but Helmut who moved the body from the cell to the workshop. I get it now. You're saying he wasn't the only con in the conspiracy. This... Indeed. One can easily imagine Mr. Carcerato and Mr. Knights might have worked together. Mr. Carcerato could have killed Knight and dragged him back to his cell. And then, Mr. Knights' dog took him from the workshop. There are no restrictions on animals' movements within the prison. Movement between the detention center and the prison proper, however, is tightly controlled. There is only one possible route, and you could have taken advantage of it, Mr. Carcerato. Hold it! How can you be so sure, huh? Maybe there's more of him and you just don't know. Something tells me digging in a single tunnel was arduous enough. You got that right. You tried scraping more than one hole in the dirt with a spoon? Lucky for me, I didn't have to dig the whole way. Somebody already did a bunch of the work for me. Oh. What? You didn't dig the entire tunnel yourself? Nope. Found it when they put me in that cell. Oh, that's interesting. And all the way to the yard already. Even looked down the well to check it from here. It was the same tunnel, all right. I just made good on what somebody else already started. Ooh. Then what was the original tunnel for? Who knows? You're the one with the cancers, pal. Maybe somebody else tried to break out.
Oh, maybe the animals dug it. Like, to get water from the well or something.
I've heard more than plausible scenarios in that B-grade movies, Kay. Well's dry, kid. Ain't no water to be down there. Though, come to think of it. Smell. Yes, always smell kinda nice down there. Nice. Gee, I don't know. Smells like dessert, I guess. A sweet scent. That sounds very familiar. When have we come across a sweet scent before? On the body! Detective Gumshoe noticed a sweet smell when we were examining Knight's body. With the help of the police dog, we followed the scent of the body and traced the route back through the prison. And that, Mr. Carcerato, was how we found your tunnel.
Would that be the same sweet scent that you noticed coming from the well? Very clever, Mr. Edgeworth. You mean to suggest that this evidence of the body has been moved through the tunnel? I do. Furthermore, Mr. Carcerato, you are the only person who could have done it. Nobody else had access. You have our thanks, Mr. Carcerato. Truly. Finally, the truth comes into view. Now unburden yourself. It is time. Confess your role in this tragic incident. What? You ain't betting this on me! I'm glad to see that we're finding agreement, Your Honor. She's gonna say something along the lines of, no, we were not. Oh, if only if we were, Mr. Edgeworth. Exactly. Mr. Carcerato may have been an accomplice, but not of Mr. Canis. No, he was working with Mr. Knight.
Hold it!
What? What do you mean? I do not believe that he moved Mr. Knight's body. Instead, I believe that he let Mr. Knight the use of the keys he stole.
You gotta be kidding me!
Granted, it seems likely he attacked Mr. Knight. She also a good rival since she doesn't have some perfect record as such. She's just trying to find justice. Yeah, true. But that doesn't necessarily mean that Mr. Knight was not unconscious for her result. And what if he wasn't? What if Mr. Carcerato had reached a certain agreement? What kind of agreement? What kind of agreement exactly? Mr. Knight was plotting an escape for which he required the means of leaving his cell. And here was the precise means, in the form of the keys Mr. Carcerato had just stolen from the guard. If Mr. Carcerato himself would have need to pass through Mr. Knight's cell in order to effect his own escape, Mr. Knight need only shout and alert the guards, and Mr. Carcerato's plan would be ruined. And so, the two struck a deal. Hold it, lady. The only one striking I do is with my fists. My. Still you deny it? So, we agreeing that we still disagree? Mr. Knight had Mr. Carcerato unlock his cell that when Mr. Saint arrived, he could escape into the cage. Mr. Saint was then able to move into the prison proper just as planned. Still don't get why he was moved into prison. Aha! And then he took Mr. Knight into the workshop, and then did the dirty deed.
Objection!
Were neither of you listening? The scent of Mr. Knight's body proves he was taken through the tunnel. It was moved through the cell to this. Perhaps if you would let me finish, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not denying Mr. Knight's body was moved through the tunnel. Then what are you arriving at? What are you driving at? Is that a trick question? As you say, Mr. Edgeworth, the sweet scent shows the route the body took. However, it did not enter the tunnel of Mr. Knight's cell.
Huh? Then how did it get down there?
There is another possibility, one you seem to have overlooked. The well in the yard. Could the body not have entered through the tunnel from there?
The well in the yard? Oh yeah, that thing!
Mr. Saint did not take the cage to the workshop. He took it outside. There he killed Mr. Knight and threw his body into the well. Mr. Canis's dog then dragged Miss Knight's body's office there to his owner's cell from the bottom of the well. On that note, I would like to ask you to recall something. What was happening in the yard as the approximate time of the body discovery?
The circus show, right? Virginia and Simeon were performing for everyone. Wait, Simeon!
Ah, indeed. And so you see how it must have been him who disposed of the body. Judge Gaffel is truly a formidable opponent. She so effortlessly adjusted a theory to fit the facts. I had proposed that Mr. Knight was taken to the yard, not in the workshop. And as we have established, Mr. Saint was off stage for 15 minutes. Ample time to throw a body down the well. And I am sure you will agree.
Objection!
Your deduction is impressive, Your Honor. However, even supporting that Knight's body was indeed thrown in the well, you cannot conclusively say it was during the show. It could have happened at a different time.
Overruled!
My sympathies for Mr. Edgeworth, but it simply could not have.
What?
Mr. Carcerato was using the title at around the time the show began. Mr. Carcerato, did you happen to trip over a corpse while you were down there?
No. Place was clean.
If the body had been at the bottom of the well before the show began, Mr. Carcerato would have seen it. However, he saw no such thing. Which means it was someone difficult to support your theory. Furthermore, Mr. Knight's body was discovered in the workshop after the show. In summary, the body must have been thrown down and to the well and moved to the workshop. At some point during the show. Tell me, who else could have done that but Mr. Saint?
No!
What do we do, Mr. Edgeworth? If the body did indeed enter the tunnel from the well, things don't look good for Mr. Saint. Still.
Your Honor, your theory is still just that, a theory. And I posit the lack of evidence to back it up.
I concede that for a moment I do not. May I suggest we investigate the yard again?
Very well. May the goddess of justice go with you.
Now then to the yard. Perhaps we can finally put this case to rest.
What's that sound?
Yikes! Is there a fire?
Did somebody escape? Should we maybe skip down too?
Hold it! Darlings, please. There's nothing to be alarmed about.
Yeah, she plays fair.
By which I mean, that's not an alarm, it's dinner bell.
She pulled a you lack evidence on you, so when you do it, she concedes. Yeah, that's great.
Although, I suppose it is rather alarming if you aren't used to it. It certainly scared the heck out of me. I'm so sorry, Sweet Pea. I hope you can forgive me.
Alright, you two. Back to your post. Chop chop.
And as for you, Rocco Carcerato, it's time for you to go back to your room.
Yeah, fine. I get the picture. Come on, Teddy. We out of here.
Warden Lagarde, we'd like to take one more look around the yard now.
Oh, darlings.
Don't you have homes to go to? Of your own to go to?
Roof the tunnel? Yeah, lol. She's not. She's giving him the slip.
Visiting hours are over, I'm afraid. Tomorrow?
No, it's imperative we investigate it right away.
I think we have quite enough of excitement for one day, don't you? Murderers, escapees, so eventful. It's time for our guests to go home, Betty Buys, isn't it? Yes, it is.
Ah,
come on now, darling. Don't make me bore you with all that I am the warden, this is an order nonsense. Warden Lagarde is right. Her word is law here, and we must respect her wishes.
she is very law-aligned, isn't she?
Mr. Edgeworth, your investigation of the yard will have to wait until tomorrow.
And she's still allowing him to investigate the yard.
You may keep your badge for now. It's a matter of your standing and wait.
She's great. What a good rival.
I bid you all a good day.
They even have her give her a booby bounce when she has a lawful neutral.
What are you waiting for, kiddykins? Off you go! Fine, at least there is tomorrow for me.
Judge Gavel believes that Knight's body was dropped down the well and then taken through Mr. Carcerato's cell at the workshop.
But is that truly the case? The facts really support her theory. She also seems to believe Mr. Saint had to be the one to move the body. But has he really been the only one of the opportunity to do so?
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, tomorrow's another day. We'll figure out a way to save Simeon. I know we will.
Yes, we will. I will prove that Mr. Saint is innocent, beyond a shadow of a doubt. And that will have to wait until my vacation. I am my vacation. And by the time I go back, it'll already be New Year. So, thank you so much for enjoying the streams. Happy holidays and a happy New Year for all of us celebrating it. Yeah. But hey, at least I'll have fun. And until we meet next time, I hope you stay frosty. Bye-bye.